We did not order a pie. How's it going, my darling batlings? Good evening. Yeah, finally got rested up well and good over the past couple nights. So I'm glad to report that I'm not walking half asleep everywhere now. I'm sitting half asleep everywhere because I'm just naturally a tired person.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely feeling better than I was yesterday. Like all day yesterday, I was just dealing with cramps from the gas issues because apparently I ate too much coleslaw the night before.
Ouch.
Yeah, and I had rehearsal last night too, so that didn't help matters. So I was like, I'm dealing with the pain, and I've also got to remember my damn lines.
So Dashcat is going to be probably joining us later on in the stream, so we'll have someone new on stream for our commentary gaggle of idiots.
Hey, who are you calling an idiot? I identify as a moron. Thank you very much.
I know I am, but what am I? Anyways, we're doing Sonic X Shadow Generations tonight, which I forgot was coming out this week, so I had to adjust my schedule accordingly. I've already played through it on my own time, because it is indeed a very short game. Would totally recommend picking it up, but not at $60, because this is a game that you can beat both stories in about 5 to 6 hours total.
Yeah.
And given that it's a Sonic game, it's probably going to go on sale immediately once the Black Friday and holiday sales start. So,
yeah.
you know how Sega be. They be screwing over those of us that pay full price, as we are used to at this point.
last and sale price.
But yeah, without further Mountain Dew, let's get on over to the gaming scene. Get into the void.
I wouldn't
and let me
exactly
turn my
consider
TV to the right input so I can actually see the game.
Oh, that explains why you said void, because I'm like, we're technically not in the void.
I mean, the void is what you make of it.
Fair enough.
And I'm also happy to report that they came out with a bunch of patches for Lollipop Chainsaw Repop, so it's actually in a good state now. Doesn't have the missing content because that's due to the company not being able to afford paying the licenses anymore.
Yeah.
Given that they don't have a publisher this time, it's self-published. But it's in a good playable state now, and I definitely recommend picking it up if you can't get a hold of the 360 or PS3 version. Also, I see you in chat, Chris, with your butt cheeks divide for Heaven's Divide. That made us chuckle. So anyways, let's get on into Sonic X Shadow Generations, which, as the stream title says, is unfortunately not a steamy romance between Sonic and Shadow. Because Sega's too cowardly to give the fans what they want.
Yep. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm guessing Ian Flynn probably wrote. I would assume he wrote the story for this for the Shadow bits.
Yes, he did, and he also rewrote the dialogue for the Sonic bits.
Oh, cool!
To make them less shit.
Yeah. The Black Arms starfish thing.
Yeah, that's Doom's Eye. It's the
Doom's
Eye
Eye
of Black Doom that he can detach as a separate being to monitor people and project holograms.
I did not realize it was actually a part of his being.
Yes, it is. That's why it's called Doom's Eye.
That makes sense.
Because it's literally his third eye.
I legit had no idea. But then again, I never actually played Shadow the Hedgehog, so I never, actually noticed that.
So I'm going to be using the Sonic Adventure skin for Sonic and the Terios skin for Shadow. Do I need to explain what Terios is to you?
Yes, you do, because I have no idea.
It is a beta concept design for what became Shadow.
Oh, okay.
And they made it an official skin for that you got as a pre-order bonus,
Nice.
along with the Sonic Adventure skin.
Nice.
And the Sonic Adventure skin is just his model from Sonic Adventure.
Like crappy
Low
graphics.
poly and all. But it doesn't appear in cutscenes because the cutscenes are pre-rendered.
That's obvious. That makes sense, yeah.
And one major improvement over the original version of Sonic Generations off the bat, multiple save slots. Holy shit, it's like this is a game from the modern era and not... Well, actually, most games had multiple save slots up until the modern era, so what am I talking about? Oh yeah, and we got Omo Chow here.
Damn, Motobugs.
Yeah, one of the things
Bomber.
I've never liked about Sonic Generations is that since the classic Sonic segments are mostly 2D, but in a 3D engine, they tend to get a little blurry when you're moving at high speeds and makes it hard to see what's going on. I don't know if that's just a me problem or if more people have that problem, but it's always been a problem to me. It's not enough to ruin it for me. It's at least better than Sonic Forces, where classic Sonic's physics are shit.
Yeah.
Also, they remapped the spin dash to the right trigger because it shares a button with the boost button. So that's something to get used to. Although they also now allow you to do spin dash the traditional way of like pressing down and jump and revving it.
Oh, okay.
Whereas in the original Sonic Generations, you could only use it as a boost. So you had to press square in the original version to use it.
Yeah.
I'm also not sure about this, but I think they might have redone some of the music slightly, because not all of it sounds exactly as I remember. I'll have to put them side by side to compare.
Yeah. I cannot remember for the life of me what the name of the crab-like batniks are called.
Crab meat.
I know, like, crab meat? Okay. Because I know, like, Buzz Bombers, Motobugs, Caterkillers.
What is that, man?
Thanks for the raid, Kier. Feel free to join us along with Dashcat when he joins later. If you feel up to it. How'd your stream go? We just got started. Sorry I missed your streams today. I had to make sure stuff was clean for another inspection just to find out they're not doing the inspection until Friday.
Oh. The name is Dr. Robotnik. Like, I was watching that, there's no music on your side?
Oh yeah, I forgot to turn on the console audio. There we go. Thanks for letting me know.
I forgot that you had it off.
Because I can hear it on my side. I just forgot that I had it toggled off on the stream side. Also, the cutscenes are not compressed to shit anymore. Thank God. Because one of the annoying things about the various console and PC versions of Sonic Generations was the Xbox 360 and PC versions of Sonic Generations by default have heavily compressed cutscenes for whatever reason that are like bitrate low as shit, whereas the PS3 version had high quality cutscenes.
Having a party or something?
Surprise!
Hey Kier,
Aw, you guys.
we can't hear you.
I'm not even... Oh. His mic's acting up.
Also, you may notice they added Chow to the opening cutscene this time.
You totally got me this time. I had no idea.
There we go. For some reason, a lot of my settings got changed because I restarted my computer and just acted up.
Like it.
No idea why.
So yeah, there's Chow in the cutscene now. They redid the dialogue with not only new recordings, but rewritten script.
Sonic, what is that?
Yeah, it's I was never a fan of Sonic Generations story. I always thought story was its weakest element. They still haven't fixed the audio balance of, like, the opening cutscene being extremely loud.
Hey, those are my friends.
Like, honestly, this particular version of Sonic Generations is something I probably will pick up during the holidays. Because I was not really interested in, like, most 3D modern Sonic games after Unleashed.
I mean, this one plays more like Unleashed.
Yeah. I mean, even though, like, with Unleashed, I actually got bored with that and sold off my copy.
Where am
Unleashed I can understand getting bored with because it does drag on for a bit.
Yeah.
Like, between the Werehog segments and having to, well, depending on which version you were playing, were you playing the PS2 Wii version or the Xbox 360 PS3 version?
PS2 Wii version.
Okay, that one actually has better progression than the Xbox 360 PS3 version, because in the Xbox and PS3 version, you had to get Sun and Moon medals in order to unlock the next levels in the story, and you didn't get them by completing stages. You had to manually search for them.
Yeah, I think my problem was, like, I just got, like, too bored because it was taking too long for me to actually progress through the story, and not enough was actually happening to keep my interest.
It just generally doesn't have the best progression, but the story's fine. The PS2 Wii version kind of overcomplicates things a bit by having 3 times as many Werehog levels.
Yeah, I hate the Werehog
like 3
level.
Werehog levels for every 1 Werehog level that was in the HD version.
Like, honestly,
but like it totals up to the length of 1 HD Werehog level.
Oh, jeez. Like, I honestly didn't mind the Werehog levels. I actually liked them. I mean, it was hard.
They also
for me to
play better in the PS2 and Wii version because like the pacing's a bit better. They don't. The levels are more compact, and you manually, like, you gradually level up as you play instead of having to manually level up your stats at a very slow rate.
So Ari, are you going to be speed running at all?
This game's still new, so I'm not sure if what speedrunning tricks can be done for this one yet, because I'm not sure if any exploits were fixed. But it's still a game you can beat very quickly. My first playthrough of the Sonic Generations part of the game took me like 2.5 hours to beat the whole game, not counting like doing all the side stuff. Because I haven't done all the side stuff yet. I've done that on 1 playthrough, except for getting, of the original PS3 version, except for getting all the red rings, because fuck that.
Yeah, the red rings are the worst part of collecting anything in this.
All they do is unlock more concept art and music, which is still better than Sonic Colors and Sonic Lost World, making it so you have to collect all 150 red rings in order to unlock Supersonic.
Ew.
Which, by the time you've done that, there's nothing left to do.
Yeah, that...
So how do you like the Sonic Adventure model that was a pre-order exclusive, I believe? Either that or it's with the Digital Deluxe version.
It's based off Sonic Adventure, I think, right?
Yeah, that's why I said the Sonic Adventure skin.
Oh, yeah. I've been awake since like 6 in the morning. Forgive me.
No.
I've also streamed for a total of how many hours? Like 2.5 in the morning and like 4.
So 6.5?
About? I don't know.
I've done that before, except it was all in one sitting. I've ran into a few bugs in this game that hopefully will get patched out soon. Mostly in the classic Sonic sections where it'll just like, in one level in particular, it glitched and shifted to a 3D perspective in what's supposed to be a 2D stage. So I couldn't see what the fuck was going on. And it also shifted the controls along with it.
I was gonna make a joke but I didn't say anything in time. But when you said they still had some bugs to patch out, my thought process was like, what's wrong with the buzz bombers and the moto bugs?
No, well, among the bugs they need to patch out, they also need to remove Charmy the Bee because nobody likes Charmy the Bee.
Just delete Charmy from the game.
Delete Charmy from the canon. Team Chaotix can work perfectly fine as a duo. No, replace him with Mighty the Armadillo.
Yes.
Uh,
You know, I agree. Actually, Mighty has been out of the game.
Sure, they won't
for
have
far
a
too
flying
long.
type for their flying type for their roster should be Ray the Flying Squirrel. I know he was never part of the Chaotix, but
Hey,
fuck it, he
Sonic,
needs a
that
role.
was awful. I couldn't tell
Yeah.
where I was or what had happened. Ugh, like I was trapped in a nightmare.
So almost 7 hours. I'm just looking into it now.
That's what's important.
Yeah. They gave Sonic lines after he rescues someone now, so he doesn't just sit there silently staring at them and nodding.
This isn't South Island.
That's always a nice thing. Yeah, I hated that.
They rewrote the script to be more in line with the modern writing. Although they kept the line in right here about fighting evil genies and saving aliens. That was part of the original
We can
script.
start over there.
Yeah. And I know
Snowy
they say,
Zorua
oh,
Gaming, hello. Hello. Welcome to the stream.
Back in a flash.
I'm best friends. Oh, and sorry,
They're from
I
the-
missed the other comment too.
You weren't kidding. It's like you never left.
I am not sure how to pronounce your name.
Oizuko
Oizi
Sandaya.
Cassandras. Forgive me if I pronounce that wrong, or you could just give me something that you like to be called. Yeah, I'm best friends with Kier, and
We're good with nicknames. We're good.
Yeah.
we're good with nicknames, and we're good with lurkers. Lurkers
Yep.
are always welcome, except for lurkers from Jack and Daxter. They can fuck off. Oizy with think noisy with no end. Got it. Thank you for clarifying.
Gotcha.
And Snowy Zoya is from the Eldenwood group.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm in there, so I started
You're
talking
in
to
there
everyone
now.
today.
Awesome.
Yeah, I
Always
went
glad
to,
to have always glad to have a fellow Eldenwooder in there. Thanks for the follow. We're gonna be having Dashcat join us around 9 o'clock. He said.
Oh,
Because last night I officially invited him to be like a regular stream commentator because he's been an active
Nice.
part of the community for so long. I felt he's earned it.
Yep.
yeah, I was
Thanks
in
for
that
the
stream when
follows.
you.
There's my Discord server that JKR just brought up. Feel free to join if you want to. You don't have to if you don't feel ready to.
Yeah. I mean, whenever. I mean, I always like to promote.
I
the
like
Discord
to say we're
server.
pretty chill here, even though we do get loud and chaotic. It's more like,
Yeah.
friendly vibes rather than being
Yeah.
confrontational.
Yeah, kind
Yeah.
of like how I tease JKR about stealing my pants whenever I get a stream streak, like right now. And yes,
Yeah.
it always is your fault.
Hey, look here. I told you. I'm raising an army of Fresno Nightcrawlers, not stealing her pants.
They're going to need pants. I saw your manifesto.
Dude, those things are pants. They look like fucking pants, so why
They're
would they
living
need
pants.
They're living pants, and these are living pants. They're technically naked, so they need pants.
They need pants for their pants, duh.
Yes.
This redo of Chemical Plant is pretty fire. Yeah, the remixes in this game are amazing. Most of them are carried over from Sonic Generations, but like the original release of Generations, but my ear tells me that they might have altered the remixes somewhat. In
They
some
did.
stages. I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to play both of them back to back. And
I think
the
they
Shadow
did.
Generations part has some all new remixes of songs from not only Shadow's levels, but also Shadow the Hedgehog the game.
The music was cleaner. Like they may have maybe uncompressed some of it.
Yeah, it's definitely less compressed because this game does have a bigger file size than the original Sonic Generations.
Yeah, not only does it
You
sound
know, in
cleaner,
addition
I
to having
noticed-
more content due to the new Shadow campaign.
I'll be right back, guys. I'm just gonna mute myself while I take off my hoodie because I'm getting overheated here.
Okay. And they also added, if you pre-ordered, you got this Sonic Adventure skin, but you also got a skin based on an early concept design for Shadow called Terios, which I'll be using in Shadow's campaign. They sadly do not show up in cutscenes because all the cutscenes are pre-rendered. Because I would have loved to see the modern cutscenes with this Dreamcast ass model to see like if they somehow kept up the janky facial animations from that game as a joke.
Could you
but
imagine
unfortunately,
if-
we don't live in that timeline.
That would have been the best timeline.
I have to keep getting used to the fact that Boost is on R2 now instead of on Square. And now there's only one drift button instead of two, which is L2. Whereas in the original, you could use L2 or R2 for drift.
I always use R2 because I'm used to playing like racing games. So
Like they're trying to keep the controls in line with Sonic Frontiers because Shadow's campaign plays more like Sonic Frontiers.
Yeah, I saw a few people playing it.
I've already beaten it. It's pretty short. That's why I recommend getting this game when it inevitably goes on sale in like a month. Because you know how Sega be with Sonic games. They come out in October and they go on sale for Black Friday.
Yeah.
I didn't know R2 was actually good for racing games. I didn't know he was that good at them.
Wrong R2.
Skydiving to speed up.
Yes, I'm well aware. It was a joke.
I got the joke.
Yes, we got
R2
the joke.
is the
That's why I responded to the joke.
Yes. I'm well aware.
R2 is the best.
That is the
racer
basis
out
of how
there.
conversation works.
You'll drown if you stay underwater for too long.
Oh, God.
That's how water works, Omo Chow.
Also, they added some new upgrades that you can buy in the Sonic Generations campaign. Mainly one that increases modern Sonic's top speed, and one that decreases the, lower speed and physics of the underwater sections.
So speed running this game is going to get interesting now.
Yes.
Well, more interesting than it was.
I'm interested in picking up the PC version just to see what kind of mods people can come up with for it. Because Sonic Generations was the first Sonic game to get, a huge modding scene on PC. Well, it was the first Sonic game to get an easily accessible PC port, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it was the first one to get a big modding scene with, custom stages, custom campaigns, levels from other games being ported into Sonic Generations, porting over the entirety of Sonic Unleashed's daytime stages. So yeah, I am intrigued to see what the modding scene for this ends up being, especially after Sega inevitably removes De Nouveau after a year.
Yeah, I hate De Nouveau.
They removed De Nouveau after a year for their successful games. They leave them in the games no one gives a shit about.
Chemical plant, but we're not remotely on West Side Island.
Hey, Ari, just out of curiosity,
We'll figure it out later.
for Sonic games, is it possible to disable the subtitles, or is this just
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So not
I keep
usually
them
one
on.
to look.
I keep them on as a preference.
I get that. I was just curious whether or not that
Like
was
the
actually
Sonic
a thing.
Adventure games, you can't, but for modern Sonic games, yes, you can enable or disable them at will.
Okay, because I've not really played a modern Sonic game since Unleashed, and that was a long ass time ago.
You saved me, Sonic. I'll be sure to return the favor next time around.
I like that they changed Amy's line there.
Now, Amy.
Yeah.
In the original, it was, I was afraid I'd never get to flirt with you again.
And it's
And Cindy Robinson's original Amy performance before Sonic Boom was like she was speaking in this Minnie Mouse ass voice.
Yeah.
That just sounded horrible.
This is the same
Like,
voice
no
actor
disrespect
for...
to Cindy Robinson, it's just not a good part. It's just not a good voice for her range.
remind me, is Cindy Robinson the same voice actress for Amy in Frontiers?
Yes, she has voiced
Okay.
Amy in everything since the current cast took over.
Okay, because I wasn't sure.
This
because
also
she
marks
definitely
the
sound-
second time that Bryce Papenbrook has gotten to voice Silver, replacing Quentin Flynn.
Nice.
Hmm.
So, the first time in actual Sonic game, because the only other time he got to voice him was in Team Sonic Racing.
Damn egg pawns.
They also added the drop dash, and yes, you can disable it.
Oh, okay.
And they have drop dash for both classic and modern Sonic.
Oh,
So, like, you can just... like that.
that was actually helpful.
They also add, yeah, that's gonna change up the speedrunning game. They also, added Chow as collectibles. I'm not sure what they do if you get all of them.
Oh.
But that's something for me to figure out.
Hopefully we get. I know we're not getting a Chow Garden. That would be
We're
amazing.
not getting a Chow Garden, but the fact that Chow are being so heavily focused on in this game and getting their own animated miniseries in the coming months tells me that they're planning on finally doing... Oh, and they also, if you saw in the trailer for Sonic 3, the Chow have an appearance in there. Tells me they're planning on finally doing something with the Chow.
About time. And yeah, the background is gorgeous. You see the
Yeah, the
Luca,
Death
the
Egg in the background, because
Death Egg,
this
yeah,
is based
thank
on
you.
the Sky Sanctuary stage from Sonic and Knuckles.
Oh, nice.
It really is like amazing.
Yeah, it looked great back in the day, but now that natively runs at 60 FPS on all versions, not just the PC version, and
Yeah.
it's in 4K.
You can
It's
really
just-
appreciate
it's
the work they
beautiful.
put in. You can really appreciate the work they put in. I really,
Yeah.
really loving the work they put in.
Oh, yeah. This is the one game where I think the reuse stages and aesthetics from previous games really works to its benefit. Because, like,
Yeah.
in Sonic Forces, the reused stage themes got reeked of laziness rather than creativity. Especially since that led to there only being 5 stage types in the whole game.
Yeah.
And the reused stage themes in Sonic Frontiers, while cool that they reused entire level set pieces in level aesthetics, like reused entire level set pieces from previous games, but in new aesthetics that were based on previous stages, it was cool, but again, only like 5 or so level themes. Outside of the open zone worlds, of course.
Can you remind me of Sonic Forces? I get sad.
Yeah, unfortunately, Forces does get referenced in this game, but it salvages its Forces stage by actually making it fun and challenging.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my
Gotta go
god.
beast.
I'm also pretty sure that Omochao was recast in this game because all the parts in recent games that were previously played, but that would mean Blaze is also recast. I'll have to check because the official voice cast isn't out yet. Like they're listed in the credits, but they don't say who plays who.
Yeah.
But all of the parts in most things that were previously in most lower budget and therefore lower priority things that were previously voiced by Laura Bailey have been taken over by Alexis Tipton. Including Sonic games. Well, with Team Sonic Racing, her not being in that one makes sense because she was like on maternity leave at the time. She had just had her first child. Same thing with Travis Willingham. But also in Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, her role as Platinum the Trinity was redone by Alexis Tipton.
I forgot about that.
And Travis Willingham is just straight up been replaced by Dave B. Willis, which he's really grown into his own as Knuckles. Whereas if you listen to him like at the beginning of his tenure as Knuckles, he sounds like he's trying to do an impression of Travis Willingham. Like, it took him a bit to nail his Knuckles voice, partly because he's a relatively new voice actor. And Knuckles was, like, his first big role.
You can also perform freestyle tricks with Remo.
And while he'll never be Scott Dreyer, who was my Knuckles, I still love his Knuckles performance, what's become. Especially in the Twitter takeovers.
I got it.
Which I'm
Smash those
hoping...
egg robots.
I know they're going to do a Twitter takeover for this. They just haven't said, you know, when it's going to happen. But they always do it for major Sonic releases.
Yeah,
And I'm waiting to
it's
see
funny.
what kind of chaos unfolds with that one.
Damn egg robos. I actually thought these were egg pawns, but no, these are egg robos.
These are Egg Robos. The Egg Pawns didn't debut until Sonic Heroes.
Yeah.
And fun fact, the Egg Pawns are not actually a catch-all term for all of the enemies in that game. They're actually all named after different chess pieces.
Yeah, I figured as much because there's like egg pawns,
Like,
egg
the
bishop.
hammer ones are, I believe, Egg Knights. And the ones that look like mages are Egg Bishops.
Yeah, like there's egg bishop. I'm not surprised there's knights. There probably would be like
no, it's the helmeted. It's the ones with armor that are Egg Knights.
Yeah, those I would not be surprised to be egg, called the egg knights. I think the
Like
ones
the
with the
big
hammers
ones
are
with
actually,
armor are Egg Knights. I'm not sure what the regular big hammer wielding ones are called.
I think they're just called egg hammers. I think that's what they're just. I think they're just called that.
They're mostly named after chess pieces.
Yeah, which makes sense. Kind of sticks to the whole chess piece motif that he would have going on with those particular badniks.
Yeah. There's another Chow for us. And you see they follow you around for a bit before vanishing out of the stage, and they like just fly off screen to go back to the hub world. There's 3 per stage.
Oh yeah, by the way, earlier you had a really nice drift.
Yeah. Drifting is fun in this game, and this is also the last game where you're able to drift manually. Sonic Forces doesn't have a drift, even though it clearly has sections that were designed with a drift in mind.
Yeah.
And Sonic Frontiers does drifting automatically.
You know, I've never beaten that Egg Robo to that Switch.
It's difficult. It only gives you a couple seconds. Hey, Dash Cat, you're welcome to hop into the call if you want.
Floor here looks like it could give way at any moment. Stay on the sections that look stable.
Yeah, they definitely did the different voice for Omo Chow.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's Alexis Tipton doing the voice or if it's a new recording by Laura Bailey. Of course I have the game. I pre-ordered it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
I pre-ordered
it
back in like August.
I'm gonna have it like next week. I've been busy playing Squirrel with a Gun. It is over the top fucking fun. You get a 9mm, a 6-shooter. Let's hear his voice.
Thanks for the help. Not that I needed it. Now let's get some payback on that monster.
Get in line, knucklehead. All right.
Yeah, the rewritten script is just so much better.
Yeah,
It's Blaze
better.
Current VA, so that would be Alexis Tipton, I believe. You're a standard edition, so you won't get... Oh, I didn't know that you got early access to it if you pre-ordered the Digital Deluxe. I just pre-ordered it for the extra skins. I wasn't aware that they were doing the early access thing like they did with Sonic. I thought they would avoid doing the early access thing like they did with Sonic Colors Ultimate, because that was an absolute disaster when they did that. Because the players that paid extra to get the early access got it in the most broken state it was ever in.
Yeah. You want an idea?
I
how
would
bad
know.
it
I was an early access person.
Yeah, for those that want to know how bad it was, Radical Soda.
Radical Soda played the early access, did an entire playthrough of the early access version, both on stream and for his review.
It's jank.
Like, he did the Switch version on stream, where it did the whole seizure-inducing bugs, without him manually trying to trigger them, like a lot of the people on Twitter were trying to do. And for his review, he did the PS4 version played on PS5 with the early access launch, like pre-patch version, and it ran so poorly that even the pre-rendered cutscenes didn't run well. They would frequently stutter.
They were playing. If they did play okay, it was like 5 frames.
Yeah.
Oh,
Welcome, Dash Cat.
Welcome, Dashcat. Feel free to, I know you're a frequent member of the audience, but we got some new people here from Killstream and from the community we're a part of. So whenever I have new people on call, I always allow them to introduce themselves.
Well, I guess on Twitch I go by Dashcat. I'm normally just called Awfully Hot Coffee Pot everywhere else, so...
Would you prefer us to call you Awfully Hot Coffee Pot?
I prefer a coffee pot because that's
okay. We'll call you Coffee Pot.
Yeah, I'm just more used to that than Dash Cat.
I wasn't aware of which you preferred to be called. So thanks for letting us know.
Yes, much appreciated.
Yep.
I know you also used to go by Femboy Ahoy.
Yeah.
I do miss that name.
That's how we first
calling
knew
you that name.
Yep. I do truly miss that name. Probably wants to go back to it, but I like the Coffee Pot name more.
I'll be honest. I miss calling you that. Oh, you saw that? You saw that review, huh?
I'll be right back.
I'm really happy how this game turned out.
Yeah, it turned out fantastic.
It just sucks that I have to wait one more day until I actually officially play it because I pre-ordered the standard edition.
The only problem I have with it, other than, you know, still being tied to Sonic Generations story as a framework, which the story was never really good to begin with. It was always the weakest part of Sonic Generations. Like, not bad story, just like more of an excuse plot.
I want to be completely honest. I think the redub is just fine. I think there are some lines that are better in the original, and I think the voices, for the most part, are better. Still iffy on Knuckles' voice, but you know.
Amy's is better. Definitely.
Oh, yeah,
Amy's 100 times better.
Yeah, I think Amy's voice is better.
Like I said earlier, Cindy Robinson just isn't good at doing like a Minnie Mouse type voice with her more like deep natural range.
It's so much worse in Lost World.
Yes, it is.
Because you
see a lot more of her.
It's just Minnie Mouse in Lost World.
Yeah. Like, I was iffy on the boom voice for modern Amy at first, but I've grown on it.
Have no fear, Eggman's here.
How did you slip past security?
It's simple. I pretended I was a pot of soap and gave them all the slip.
Actual line from Sonic X.
Yes.
Wait, what?
That's an actual line from the Sonic X anime.
Whoa, what happened there?
Yeah, that's an issue with the engine. Is that it's kind of iffy on texture loading, since this is using the original Hedgehog engine.
Oh yeah, it's still Hedgehog 1. By the way, from what I've seen from Shadow, it looks so good.
Oh,
it is so good. I've beaten it already.
What I found out is that it's a lot of the same animators from Frontier, so like it was just they actually got time to make the game.
And the cutscenes, like, yeah, they're pre-rendered, but they're actually really well animated, and they're done by Marza this time instead of being done in-house by Sonic Team. So it's like, holy shit, there's like squash and stretch, there's actual 12 principles of animation on display here instead of just stiffly moving the models like you're in fucking Source Filmmaker or something.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that the in-game models are most likely made by the same people, but then what you said cutscenes are in Marza.
Yeah, the cutscenes are pre-rendered in Sonic Generations as well, like they always were. But they had Marza Animation, you know, the studio that was so good that Sega bought them and then proceeded to only use them for, like, promo stuff. They let them actually do cutscenes again after their impressive work on Sonic Unleashed.
By the way, speaking of stiff animation, have you guys seen the release trailer for the new Totally Spies show?
I have not seen the trailer.
I forgot that they was making the new season.
When I say stiff, rigor mortis stiff.
It's that bad, huh?
Yes. I saw it on Twitter and I was just not happy.
I mean, it's already, you know, pretty cheaply produced because it's a Canadian show, and Canadian animation tends to be a little bit stiff, unless it's Ed, Edd and Eddy, where it's got that Cartoon Network money.
This is more than beyond stiff.
Yeah.
Like, it just felt completely off.
Excuse me?
An A rank, how the mighty has fallen.
Also, Metal Sonic has a new voice in Shadow's campaign. I'm not sure who it is.
Mike Pollock, right?
I don't know, because Behind the Voice Actors hasn't been updated yet last time I checked. And the credits just list who was in the game, not who played who.
There was some weird... there's some voices that like truly surprised me that were in the game. Well, voice actors, I should say. That surprised me that are in the game. And like, for some reason, I don't know if he's in the entire game, but like, they got Ray Chase to do like the narration for Shower's story. And I think that's just funny that they got him just for that one scene.
And they also have a new voice for Mephiles, and I don't know who that is. It's someone doing a pretty good Dan Green.
Oh, so he does sound like Dan Green. Okay, that's good. Because I've heard his voice.
A little bit more high-pitched than Dan Green's natural sexy bass, but in the right tone.
I have not seen anything past Bullet Station, so...
I love Stardust.
And the new Black Doom, I don't think it's Sean Schemmel, but they're still good.
Ben Diskin.
Ben Diskin would not surprise me. I don't know why, but it wouldn't surprise me. Man's got really good range. He can do both Young Xehanort and he can do Mega Man.
Yeah, I only heard like higher pitched voices, so like when I heard this Ben Diskin, I'm like, really? You can do that deep of a voice?
He did Young Xehanort throughout the Kingdom Hearts series, so that's
that's one of the voice actor roles I know that he's in. That and
that's like his most well-known role, I think. I'm not too familiar with a lot of his other stuff.
He was Haida in Agretzko. He was number 2 in Kids Next Door. He's that one dog guy, Jack. That's his name for Beastars. It was another anime that I seen him in. That's the name of it. But like his voice is pretty like recognizable.
I missed my chance
is so
there.
cute in this game.
Yeah, this is the one game where I'm like okay with classic Sonic being a part of a modern Sonic game, where it doesn't feel like he's shoehorned in.
Yeah.
And I think they adjusted his spikes to be longer, if I'm not mistaken.
I wouldn't be surprised. They redid a lot of stuff for this. I'm pretty sure some of the remixes are different too. I'm not entirely sure, but I've got an inkling that they remixed some of the music further from how it was. They remixed
the remixes?
Yes. I'll have to wait until the official soundtrack comes out.
And yes, Snow is Aurora. I agree.
Brown was just gone, by the way.
Sorry, what was that? I was adjusting my seat. What'd you say, Dash Cat? Sorry, coffee pot?
I said the ground was I think the ground was gone for a second when
Yes, it
Cyclops like
was.
landed on the floor.
Yeah, there's some quirks in mid cutscene rendering in this game, and like Hedgehog Engine 1 always had issues with textures appearing or disappearing instantaneously. Like you can really notice it with rings in some stages.
I just now processed that you're Adventure Sonic.
Yeah.
Even as the
I can't
brown
remember
square,
if that
that's
was
cool.
Digital Deluxe or if it was a pre-order exclusive.
Digital Deluxe. Oh,
Okay,
one
so it was
second.
the Terrio skin that was pre-order exclusive. Isn't saying thank you for following.
I like that
I like
name,
your
actually. You too. Nice. People like it.
Please. Oh, okay, good. They're not a bot. Okay, I didn't think they would be with a name like that, but you never know these
They're
days.
not a bot, they're a Saiyan. Unless they're a robot Saiyan.
No, I think they're just insane.
It's singing in the membrane. I'm gonna go sit in the corner now.
There we go, you're an android.
There's a difference.
I mean, androids are a thing in Dragon Ball Z. Well, if they were an android Saiyan.
I mean, it turned Frieza into a Saiyan. I mean, android.
Not a
Fuck.
Saiyan. He's not an android, he's a cyborg. Just like 17 and 18 are technically cyborgs, but the dub calls them androids. Whereas
Yeah.
the Japanese version uses the more fitting term artificial human for all of the androids.
I just like saying android because it's more fun.
Yeah.
Also, this
Androids
annoys
rolls off
more.
the tongue better, but artificial human fits what they are better.
Yeah.
Also, as someone that didn't start watching Dragon Ball Z until the Cell Saga was almost done, tell me how much of a whiplash was it for people that watched it as it first aired to get to the androids arc and have all these callbacks to the original Dragon Ball that had not come out in America yet? So, like, all this stuff about the Red Ribbon Army, like, we're supposed to know what that is, even though we haven't seen it. Was that
I started
whiplash-inducing at all, or did you just vibe with it?
I started with Z, got up to where Goku first Keenan Namek, you know, the ocean dub.
Yeah, that's where the ocean dub stopped.
Yeah, I grew up with the ocean dub, which is arguably still one of my favorite. It aired for a little
I've been
bit.
watching the ocean dub recently, and it's pretty damn good. Yeah,
Yeah, you
it's heavily
see-
censored, but the voice acting just it's different than the Funimation dub. I wouldn't call it necessarily better or worse. It's just its own thing.
Yeah, it's basically your own taste to it. Like, I prefer the ocean dub.
I
That's
prefer
just me,
some
though.
of the ocean dub voices, but I can see why people would prefer ocean overall.
Yeah, I
There's
also
some
kind of
voices
want
in the Funimation dub of just Z. I'm saying like original Z, not counting Kai, because
Yeah.
Kai I think is just an overall superior dub to both.
it's ultimate pacing. I would say it's the
Well,
pacing. is
also
best.
you know the actors are used to the roles by now, and they're not
Yeah.
amateurs anymore. But
I still love
hey, they even
Brilliant
included
Shade.
the DLC Casino Night stage,
Oh, nice. I'm
which
still a fan
unfortunately
of
Casino Night is reduced to just a pinball table. Oh, that is some choppy frame rate there.
Nice, of
Yeah, the
course.
frame rate gets a little choppy in some points. I think they can probably fix that with a patch.
a lot of the
Oh no, the flippers are on R1 and L1. Ew.
Gambling.
They should be on the triggers. Come on, haven't you played a Sonic pinball stage before?
Maximum
Sorry about
sad.
that. I
I
had to
agree.
go.
Maximum sad.
Sorry, what was
I
that?
had to get the laundry up the dryer.
That's fine.
No worries.
I enjoyed having you here. Are you going to be back on later, or are you going for the night?
Probably gonna get off at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
So
Well, if
1
you're not-
hour. 1 hour.
If you're not back on later, then it was nice having you, and I look forward to having you
I
on
meant
some
I
more.
already got the laundry done. Sorry, I should have phrased that better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why I left, because I was getting the laundry.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god, he does have legs.
Sonic Pinball Remaster win. Oh, I could dream.
I don't like Sonic Spinball because it's a bad Sonic game and it's a bad pinball game.
It gave me PTSD when I was a child.
You know, hold on. You know who could do a table that would be really good for an idea
The people behind what is it, like Pinball Effects or Zen Pinball or whatever?
Actually, I was gonna say Zakura Pinball because I was being with I can't remember his name. I know his real name, but I don't want to say his real name because he's also a VTuber. He actually ended up voicing in that game, and I was able to get one of the free DLC from one of the devs.
Speaking
And
of YouTubers and potential contributions to Sonic games, like, not a spoiler for the Shadow campaign, but there's like heavier guitar work than you usually hear in a Sonic game.
I think because it's June doing the composer work this
June
time.
composed it, but they also got YouTube metal cover guitarist Rashad EB to contribute to the guitars in this game.
Really? That's awesome. They do like metal covers, like anime openings.
Metal covers of anime openings. I think he's also done a metal version of Goofy Goober Rock from the SpongeBob movie.
One second, I need to look this up.
I think that was Rashad EB. There's so many metal guitar cover people on YouTube that I get them confused a lot. Like, I mainly get Rashad EB and Family Jewels confused.
Family Jewels is really good.
Which Family Jewels, I believe, has contributed to one game. No, that was Nate Wants to Battle.
Yes, that
Who
was
also did a Sonic game. The last
Yeah,
one,
that's who I was
actually.
thinking of. Nate Wants to Battle did a song for Frontiers.
And it's a much better song than Vandalize.
Yep.
Just my
got it.
Vandalize,
Special
I like
subjective.
as a song. I like Vandalize as a song. I don't like it as a Sonic theme because it has nothing to do with Sonic.
It would have been much better if they kept it fucked.
If they kept the fuck the pain away in there.
Yeah. Anyway, for no reason. We leave my bed in ruins.
That would influence your love for
Fuck
that
the
particular
pain
kind
out.
of sound.
Like, it's like in context, it's supposed to be about like Eggman.
A love song.
It's supposed to be about Eggman losing his new daughter, Sage. Or at least he thinks he's lost her. But, you know, with the original lyrics, it would be "fuck the pain away, my bed is in ruins." So it's like, oh, Eggman's getting some one-night stands to cope with the loss of his daughter. Okay,
I'm just imagining Eggman.
He's
in
getting
his
some
boxers
strange.
where-
Maybe that's where
I just-
Eggman Nega comes from.
Eggman in his boxers on the bed with alcohol and a woman next to him in the bed sleeping. And he's sad and depressed.
Eggman with his pingus out.
That will give me nightmares. Or arouse
It's
me.
bad
I
enough
don't
that we
which
know what
one.
Eggman's nipples look like thanks to Mario and
Sonic
Sonic at the
Boom.
Olympic Games.
Oh.
Oh no.
I was thinking of that one episode of Sonic Boom when he's taking a shower and then make a small dick joke.
What am I fighting for?
Apparently, you're fighting for the right for Eggman to go shirtless.
Yeah, I think we need more shirtless Eggman. You know, just for sex appeal. We can't have Rouge do all the work.
that's what Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog Robotnik was designed for. He was designed to be the sexiest fat man on television,
And they
according to
succeeded at
character
that.
designer Milton Knight.
You know what's dangerous? Having me.
Making Eggman hot.
No, I was gonna say having both me and you in chat. Let's be glad.
Yeah, sorry.
Let's just be glad that
speaking to each other.
Yeah.
I forgot to say hi.
You said I think.
Did I? Sorry, I
So
completely forgot.
This is the first time I've seen what the coins you collect on this stage are for. Holy shit.
Oh, I thought that was just for points.
I thought they were just for points, but no, there's a slot machine on a second tier.
I love gambling so much.
Holy shit, this is actually a better pinball table than I thought. I thought it was mid at first, but no, it's got some multiple tiers to it, like the pinball, the Knights pinball in Sonic Adventure.
Yeah, even like Snowy Zora was saying that it's really nostalgia for them.
For Sonic's pinball, yeah, I can understand that. Sonic Adventure 2 is my favorite Sonic game of all time, but that's entirely due to nostalgia bias.
I think for me, it's Sonic Adventure 1.
For me, it's either Heroes or this game. And yes, mostly because of nostalgia, because of Heroes. Because listen, that game has problems.
Especially if you're playing the PS2 version.
Luckily, I had the GameCube version. I had the best version, so
nice.
I was safe.
Did you know the Xbox version has some unique textures for Metal Sonic?
Oh.
Yo, why does he look like that? He has no mouth.
That's
because Sonic's in-game model in Sonic Adventure didn't have a mouth outside the cutscenes.
It looks so wrong being so well animated with that model.
He has
I've got
no
to see
mouth
him blink to see if they kept the flesh-toned eyes that his model in the Dreamcast version had.
I think I remember seeing the victory animation when they like revealed like in the engine, and he like almost blinks, but like, it goes halfway. They probably would fix that, but I think it's funny if they didn't.
I mean, they were flesh-toned in the Dreamcast version of Sonic Adventure 2 as well, which makes it even more unsettling with the more, good model.
Yeah,
because we call it Adventure 1 was basically going off of Sonic 3's design for Sonic, except a little taller.
Like, their idea was to try and, like, from what I've read, and I may be interpreting this wrong, they were trying to make his model more resemble his classic proportions, so it wouldn't be as jarring to go to the new lanky Sonic.
And then his Dreamcast, not his Dreamcast, his DX model.
His DX model is based off of the Sonic Adventure 2 artwork, and looks out of place as a result.
Yeah.
And very shiny. And his head's huge.
The shininess is due to a different lighting engine used.
But yeah, you know why I say it's dangerous to have me and coffee in here? When it comes to Metal Gear,
perpetually horny.
Yes, you already know when it comes to Metal Gear.
Oh man, that's gonna scare me. I need to like actually watch what I say. Your screams. I'm like, I need to like actually watch what I say now. I'm on screen.
Now, here's a question for you, Ari. Which do you think is the better time-based villain, Mephiles or the thing that Eggman has?
Mephiles, because the Time Eater is just a plot device.
Yeah.
I think Time Eater has a cool design.
Time Eater has a cool design, and one thing I kind of I wish that Ian Flynn could have done was to incorporate his old headcanon about the Time Eater's origin into this rewritten script and redub, but he didn't go that far with it. And I can understand why he didn't, because that would be getting a bit into... I can understand that being a bit self-indulgent to make your headcanon official canon.
Yeah.
That, and also, a part of me also kind of glad, because I don't like everything being, like, all connected, like, like, I do like that they're just two separate things. Like, they didn't try to connect the two time travel things, because...
It also works for, like, Mephiles has some lines in his boss fight that I won't spoil. that make it a bit more impactful that he's not connected to the Time Eater.
Oh, why did they make it? Why did they make it early access? I'm a standard edition.
I completely bullshitted that right there, and I'm not gonna question it.
I saw that too, and I'm like, what?
He hit me, and it knocked me onto his arm without damaging me.
Look, guys, it's the robot from the second Sonic movie.
Yeah, it's the robot from the hit movie Sonic the Hedgehog 2, starring Ben Schwartz and Jim Carrey.
And nobody else.
And Idris Elba. And definitely not Colleen O'Shaughnessy, because we don't give actual voice actors highly credited roles for voice acting in Hollywood movies.
I'm gonna be. Part of me thinks they're gonna like have her like not be in, not have Tails in like the third movie a lot because he's not voiced by like a popular actor.
I mean, Tails already was pretty underutilized in Sonic 2 too.
And that's his introduction movie.
That was disappointing considering the entire movie 1 credits teaser was for Tails.
Yeah.
And then Tails is like, he's there for all of Sonic 2, but he doesn't get to do much.
And then he's unconscious for a good chunk of it.
Yeah. Like, they don't really do much with him aside from have him.
Then he only has like one line of dialogue in the Knuckles show.
It seems like they went in with the idea of doing a Sonic the Hedgehog 2 adaptation, but then ended up going with Sonic 3 and Knuckles instead, and just didn't know what to do with Tails.
It feels so weird to have Sonic 2 be based off of Sonic 3.
And then Sonic
Like,
3 being based off
based
of Sonic 3 being
Sonic
based
Adventure
off of
2.
both Sonic Adventure 2 and Shadow the Hedgehog.
I get why, because if I'm completely honest, Sonic 3 has more story, and you can basically just combine the two, if I'm completely honest, because like they kind of end the same.
I just want to know, are they going to gun down the child?
We all want them to.
If they don't, I'll leave. I'll leave the theater.
They probably won't show it, but they'll imply it. Also, in this cutscene, you actually see classic Eggman instead of the stupid thing they did in the original where he was, like, hidden in shadow as if we don't know who classic Eggman is.
I find it funny that they went out of the way to actually add this, but then they just don't bother lip syncing some cutscenes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of the cutscenes are just the original animations with new voices.
Yeah,
they actually do in some cutscenes lip sync the new dialogue to the old animations, but
not
in
all.
others they just don't. Like you can clearly see Sonic says something else in that cutscene.
Older versions of us.
I would say would have put Jamil as the.
There's a rumor that's not been officially confirmed that Jaleel White was considered to play classic Sonic, but they didn't go with it. But there's also an unconfirmed rumor that they approached Ryan Drummond to voice both Sonics in this game, but didn't go with him.
It looks like it dragged your friends.
Yeah, I would love at least for this version.
Well, I say unconfirmed. Ryan Drummond says that's the case, but no one else does.
Yeah.
Oh no, the timeline's being devoured by Corone screaming Ikom Bokum.
I mean, those are magic words.
Plot twist is actually Corone piloting the Time Eater.
Corone is the source of the Time Eater. You know she's into all sorts of horrifying stuff. She's been doing watch-alongs of the Saw movies.
So you know what I gotta say about the next area you're going to, right?
Yeah, because this is our nostalgia.
Sex.
Is it that?
No.
Yes.
Well, I gotta say,
so in my first playthrough of Speed Highway, I ran into a weird bug. And I'm not sure if it's like an actual level design change or if it's a bug with the camera. It's where, like, the perspective kept on shifting to behind classic Sonic, but the level geometry didn't adjust to change for that, so, like, I couldn't see where the fuck I was going. Like, I had sections of level blocking my view in the camera, and the controls did adjust for that. So, like, I would have to press diagonal up and left and diagonal down and right to move forward and backward.
We do not speak of that individual.
We do not
here.
speak. We do not speak of them unless we do speak of them.
I got
Well, yeah, what I was gonna say was, oh yeah, this is happening.
Oh yeah, this is happening.
I had to.
I love that
I
the
gotta
very first
replay-
cutscene mod that came out for Sonic Adventure, once people learned how to mod cutscenes, was like the opening where, you know, Sonic comes into view and says, oh yeah, this is happening. But instead, he, like, looks down in horror and it plays, what am I fighting for?
I gotta replay Sonic Adventure someday. I haven't played it since. When did it come out on the GameCube?
2004. No, 2000.
I haven't played it in
2003.
over a decade. Okay, I haven't played it since.
I get Sonic Heroes and Sonic Adventure DX's release dates confused a lot, so I might have them backwards.
I'm still
after
happy.
Sonic Adventure 2 for the GameCube. So
It was
I
after
think
Sonic Adventure
7.
2, which is, I remember that because my friend had a Dreamcast and Sonic Adventure 1, and I was jealous because I couldn't play Sonic Adventure 1 because it wasn't on the GameCube yet.
But yeah, I haven't played it since I was a kid, and like, you know, I didn't like really like it that honestly. Like, I like Sonic Adventure 2 more. Yeah, I want to replay it just to see if I like anything changed.
It depends on
About
what you
anything.
want out of a Sonic Adventure game. Like, I feel like Sonic Adventure 2 is definitely more focused by toning down the amount of gameplay roulette that goes on.
I think that's why I liked it more, because it was more focused. Because there wasn't as many characters that I didn't care about.
Yeah, it's not every character has their own unique gameplay style that's completely different from each other, and there's also hub worlds.
Yeah, that part I did miss. I did miss the hub worlds.
Well, they brought them back in Sonic 06.
And I love Sonic 06. Yeah.
I love Sonic 06 unironically. Like, yeah, I do call it the room of video games, but I also can see where it could have been not necessarily like the perfect Sonic game, but I could see it being a decent like 6 or 7 out of 10 if it had more time in the oven.
I have
I
so
like
much
how-
nostalgia for Sonic 06 because I played the game way too much as a kid and had too many problems in that game when I was a kid. The thing I remember the most is definitely Silver and what's that forest hub world called? I forgot.
Ah, God.
The one
I
that
can't-
sends you to Kingdom Valley.
I can't remember.
I can't remember either.
I've played that game so many times, but I don't remember the level names for most of them.
The thing I remember the most as a kid from Sonic 06 is dying at Crisis City, specifically the Max Pete section.
Would you believe me if I said that the first game I played on my Xbox 360 when I got it in Christmas 2007 was Sonic 06?
It was one of the first games I got for my 360. That and Batman Arkham Asylum and City.
Did you have a nice fall, Ari?
Yes. Although fall's not over. I hope it's over soon, because I don't like fall. It triggers my allergies.
Ah,
I prefer fall over winter.
same here.
I prefer spring over winter because I don't like the cold.
I like winter because my allergies don't bother me. I like cold weather, and I like the cozy vibes.
I have asthma, so that messes with me really bad.
Well, you see, I'm from the south, and where I'm at, we don't get cold. I mean, we mostly get heat and bad humidity.
When you get snow, it's
The one-
basically hell on earth.
Yeah,
They're
I'm
making
from the
it
south
snow.
too, but I'm from the part of the south that's like right on the border between the south and the north. So people
Oh,
Oh, whoa.
deeper south states argue whether we count as southern or not.
Discord's shitting itself.
Yeah, you turn to a robot more than you're actually already are.
I get the joke. I was saying,
You got that. I mean, messing up that sentence.
it's okay. Got some performance anxiety from this being your first time collabing with me.
Yeah, well, mostly because I'm on stream now, so now I'm getting like really nervous.
It's okay.
Don't worry, you're among friends.
Yep.
Just like natural. You know, they say, just keep swimming, just keep swimming.
I watched
just-
way too much of Finding Nemo as a kid.
Yeah,
I
way
never
too much.
watched it. I think I watched it once.
yeah,
It's a
Coffee
good
Pod.
film.
Yeah, Coffee Pod. Just relax. I said, relax. Please, at ease. Relax.
Snow's the world.
You know what they
I
say?
hate snow.
Relax. Don't do it. When you want to come.
I thought you were gonna say the more the merrier. I'm not gonna lie.
I hate snow. I cannot deal with snow. I'm
I
tired
really
of
want to see snow. I really
I
want to see
don't.
snow.
I
so
really
bad.
want to see snow, but it only happens every now and then in my state.
I don't
And
want
sometimes
snow.
it doesn't
I have
happen
to-
until after Christmas. Like, the most recent time it snowed, it was in March.
I have to shovel it, so no.
Here's the thing: I want to see snow, but I don't want to live in an area that has snow. I hear horror stories of living in a place with snow.
Yeah,
I
But I
like
also
it.
want to make a snow angel.
I like snow days, but I don't like how in the area I'm in, the power goes out when there's even so much as a light storm. And if there's going to be... We haven't had snow since I've moved here, but I'm fearing what snow would do to the power system here. Especially
Yeah.
since we're in a low-income neighborhood, so we're not a priority for the power company to put our power back on.
Ugh.
Yeah, like you should have been in Chicago around. I can't remember like the exact year, but years ago we had a huge ass
Years
blizzard.
ago, I was Chinese.
Oh
Yeah.
no, not that.
Well, years ago we had a huge ass blizzard that well, it was like so bad that the snow actually came up. Yeah, it's sort of like Texas, except we didn't have the deep freeze you guys, Texas had.
I mean, we had that
yeah.
in like 2001. It was called the ice storm. Get ready for
Yeah.
new cream.
Me, Mr. Sonic. It was so scary, but I tried to be really brave.
Okay, that's fitting.
Yeah.
Was that on purpose?
Yes. I was trying to get before she speaks, but
But yeah, so we had this like huge blizzard to the point where like it was, I want to say at least, at the very least, like 6 inches of snow. But it could have been deeper. Because it was like
almost as
you
good
could-
as 6 inches of shadow. So I was making
Right.
reference to that one statue that they made.
Yeah,
of shadow.
what was it? Like 21 inches of venom?
No, it was 19 inches of venom. But it was also when then it was like a Sonic Central that showed off a statue of Shadow, and they said 6 inches of goodness.
Oh no.
That
They
just stuck
knew
to my
what they
mind.
They had to know what they were
It
doing.
was either that or they said 6 inches of shadow. I don't remember which one. but I
Either
think-
way,
yeah, I
they
think
had
did
to
say-
know what they were doing.
And that just stuck to my mind, like, oh, so shadows are 6 inches. Oh, that's interesting.
It's the Sonic community. They had to know what they were doing.
If you truly was the ultimate life form, it'd be 7 inches, but you know.
Hey, it's not
But
about
yeah.
length, it's about girth.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, like the blizzard was like really bad. Like it was like it went on for like overnight, and by next morning, I had a ton of snow. I had to shovel off the front porch and our steps. Basically, I had to just carve a path for people to walk up to our front door, because as Ari could attest, I have my house, my front door is not on ground level.
This music is not fitting for what this conversation is talking about.
Yeah.
I prefer the original.
Yeah, but how exactly do you make a
love this
classic
remake.
version, like a classic Genesis-styled version of City Escape without just making it a chiptune?
Honestly, this is my favorite version of City Escape, the song at least.
My favorite is the modern version of it in this game.
I like the new added lyrics, but I love the instrumental so much for this version.
The new
reading
added
Chris.
lyrics and the guitar solo.
Oh yeah, that guitar solo is so good.
I'm reading
The
Chris's,
instrumentals of this version is so good.
My auntie is from Las Vegas, and the only thing that falls from the sky there is cancer rays and drunk people.
Oh man, my mom. I kind of wish I went with her, but my mom went to Las Vegas, and we saw like a fat guy in a G-string. I wish I was there because I think that's very funny. I wish I experienced that. I want to see Las Vegas weirdness.
I would love to go to Vegas sometime just to say I've been there.
Yeah.
I've never.
And
been.
maybe to visit the legal brothels that they have.
They have legal
Yes.
brothels.
Yeah, prostitution is legal in Nevada.
I didn't know that.
It is. There was a show on HBO about it. Not going more than that. And this was back when I was in high school. And yeah, I watched stuff I wasn't supposed to as a kid.
I think we all did.
Yeah.
I watched far too much. What was that show called? Super Jail? Yeah, Super Jail. On Adult
Super
Swim.
Jail, oh my god.
Oh,
Life
Yeah,
on
it
the
turned out
outside
perfectly fine.
ain't what it used to be.
I love the beginning of this song though.
Like the
So
song is
good.
what I remember the most. I never watched Super Jail, but I have seen like maybe like one or two of the episodes. But I have seen like
I'm at the beginning of the song and Song Generations. But
the themes, like the
The
opening
bass
and the
solo
theme
at the
song,
beginning.
yeah, but Super Jail's theme song is also pretty good.
The theme song is just what caught my attention. Like I remember one like right after I first heard it, I basically just typed it out to Ari in a personal message. And his response was like, "Why are you singing the intro to Super Jail?"
The thing, I think the animation in general is really good. Super Jail, like it's
Yeah,
really
it
impressive.
is, especially considering it's on an Adult Swim budget, which is usually pretty small.
Yeah, I have a question. Who do you think would win? The guard that I can't remember the guard's name.
Alice.
Or Brock's Alice. Alice or Brock Sampson. Who would win in a fight?
Neither, they would fuck.
Who do you think will win in a fight? The gun soldier or Maria?
I mean, we have an epic rap battle of history about that I posted in my server. I showed that to my buddy
I think I've
Lulu, and
seen
she
that.
said, "Never show me that again. It makes me sad."
I gotta see that.
It's like a
It's like
epic
5
rap
seconds
battles of
in the
history.
shot.
Maria versus Gun, begin! And then the gun soldier just shoots her.
That's 2 coffee
man.
redeems in a row, Ari. You're
Okay.
Take 2 sips.
jeez.
2 sips.
Or better yet, 2
I
gulps.
took one big gulp,
Hey, that works.
which is the equivalent of 2 sips.
That works. I was gonna say 2 big gulps, but
Via the
one-
mathematical law of go fuck yourself.
See, I would respond to that, but then I just
You just dig your hole even deeper.
yes. So
And we
I'm
don't
not
and we don't need JKR's hole being even bigger than it already is.
I mean, it's pretty deep. Ain't that right,
Pretty wide
Pegatron?
too.
shut up here.
You don't say anything. You're digging yourself a deeper
It's-
hole.
It's bad enough that Ari was referencing it. You had to bring it. You had to fucking.
I had to fuck? Wait, when did I fuck? Wait. I fucked?
I mean, I'm right here, Kristen.
What's Coctimus Prime at? He needs to be here. The experience is best
Yeah, we
friend
got
Pegatron.
Pegatron. We need Coctimus Prime.
I am not Puerto Rican, Kristen. I am actually I am
No,
Hungarian.
he's not Puerto Rican. That's Death, who's usually in the chat, but not here tonight.
Yeah.
Maybe joins later. I don't know. He just shows up and bonks me every time. But JKR is definitely not Puerto Rican.
No, I am of Hungarian descent. That's fair. I mean, you don't exactly see my real face. One of these days, you'll see it when I finally break out of this stupid bomb.
Guys, believe it or not, I'm actually not awake.
Get ready for a better
They
Rouge
kept him Big
performance, but
Blue.
still not a good actress for Rouge.
Hello? Beautiful.
Thanks, Big Blue. That's the first
I'm glad they
time
kept that
I've
in.
ever been stolen.
You're a real
Why does she sound like she is
No, she sounds even worse than Team Sonic Racing.
Yeah. Like, she started sounding good, or at least passable, with Dream Team.
I wouldn't say she sounded good in Dream Team.
That's why I rephrased it to passable.
I wouldn't say passable
she's,
either.
she's never been a good Rouge, and I don't think she ever will be. She's not a good person either.
Yeah, well, you know, if we're ignoring what her political beliefs is completely.
Yeah.
I think
She's better suited for, like, her role as R4 from Neptunia. If she used that as her Rouge voice, it would be better.
I think I like her more than, I forgot her name, but the one that voiced in 4Kids. I mean, I have a lot of nostalgia for her, but like she
JKR
sounded
knows her name because that's his
old.
favorite Rouge, because that's the one he grew up with.
I mean, I have a lot of nostalgia for her, but I just think that voice didn't fit when it made her sound way older than I think they intended.
Here's the thing. Her voice sounds good in Sonic X. In the games, I don't know why.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe
In the game.
In the games, she sounded way too old.
That's how I feel about Dan. Well, not about the old part, but that's how I feel about Dan Green as Knuckles. I think I like him more in X than in the games he actually was
A
in.
lot of the 4Kids voice actors just sounded better in X in general, except for Jason Griffith, where he gradually got better over time as especially Sonic, but also especially as Shadow throughout the course of the games.
Honestly, I think he started out just as well. I think he's decent in X. He sounds much better Shadow the Hedgehog.
By Shadow the Hedgehog, he perfected his Shadow voice. Whereas if you listen to his very first appearance as Shadow in Sonic X, he sounds just like he's trying to do an evil Sonic.
Which I gotta say, Kurt Thornton, really good right now. I'm really happy.
It took him a while to nail his Shadow performance, but at the same time, he hasn't had good Shadow material to work with until now.
Yeah.
I liked him in Sonic Boom, but Shadow's also just a dick in Sonic Boom, and I think that's fed me.
And he's only in like 1 or 2 episodes in Sonic Boom, right?
He's in 2 episodes. He's in both the season finales, actually.
I know that they were waiting a while to introduce him because people kept on harassing Mike Pollock about when's Shadow gonna show up in Boom, to the point where he wrote a song about it and performed it as Eggman and posted it to his Twitter.
The only reasonable thing that Mike Pollock has done. And that's actually, you know, let's not open that can of worms.
Yeah. My stance on his whole thing on that issue is I don't necessarily, I don't support it, but I don't hold it against him because it's more of like a generational American thing where Americans of that generation were raised on propaganda that painted that issue a specific way that they can't unlearn at this age.
Yeah, it's just a lot of ignorance. And, you know. Oh,
it's ignorance rather than targeted malice, but it doesn't excuse it.
Oh, 1 second, I'll be right back.
Glitch.
Oh.
Is it the same glitch from the original game where like the geometry doesn't load?
No, it's where he got stuck walking on air.
Oh, okay.
Too bad it's not walking on sunshine. Whoa.
Right back.
Okay. Now, as far as the classic remixes of modern Sonic stages go, I like this one for Seaside Hill.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't
it's very-
sound like it's trying too hard to be like a retro techno remix.
You know what kind of vibes it gives me? Emerald
What?
Hill. Emerald Coast from Adventure 1.
Oh god, I would love to see Emerald Coast done in a
Apparently-
generation style. There's a mod for it, but you know, as an official stage.
You know, there's some cut content where I think I retweeted it. There were going to have Emerald Coast being a level.
I wouldn't be surprised. But it would probably screw up the flow of the stages a bit, where you have 3 stages per era.
Yeah, there were more stages announced. Let me see if I can find.
Yeah,
If
the
I did
thing
retweet it.
is, they decided on the stages that made it into the final game based on like a fan poll of what stages they would most like to see.
I know that we
Which
haven't
is
gotten
why-
to them yet, but... Oh, sorry, you continue first.
I was gonna say they decided on the final stages that made it into the game based on a fan poll of what stages the fans would most like to see, which was why we got 2 city stages back to back in the adventure era.
Yeah.
But what I was gonna say is, I know we haven't gone to him yet, but I think Matt Mercer as Esper is far better than Troy Baker, to be honest.
Yeah, Troy Baker didn't get to do much as SBO, and honestly, neither has Matt Mercer. But Matt Mercer, I feel, doesn't sound as like oddly like it. I don't want to say unfitting, but like there was just something
He
about Troy
sounded
Baker's
more
SBO where I'm like,
monotone.
I don't feel like he's quite the right choice for
He sounded more
a more goofy
monotone.
character like SBO. Like he's the comically serious. That's his gag.
Yeah.
Whereas
Sorry,
he
I
tried
didn't
to
mean to
play
speak
him as
over
like
you.
an actual serious character.
Yeah, I didn't end up retweeting it, but they were showing. I think originally they were supposed to have more than one. Like instead of 3 stages, I think it was going to be more.
I wouldn't be surprised. What's a Sonic
That'd
game
be like
without
a-
cut content?
That'd be like a budget thing, right? Because like
It was probably more of a
These levels
time
are
thing
like-
because
Budget and time, I would say.
it was probably more time than budget because Sonic games notoriously up until Frontiers had really short development times.
I wonder how long. Because let's see. I think Unleashed was
Unleashed
year
was
2 or 3
2008.
years. Oh, I meant like development time, but I think it was like either 2 or 3 years of development.
Yeah,
Then
that was the
Colors
longest
was-
development time in a while up to then. And
I
then,
always miss old Twitter.
Colors was 2010, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's how much development time they got, because a lot of that is spent in pre-production.
So probably like roughly 2 years of development
Yeah.
time. Because what?
Because like when I talk about like development time versus pre-production, Sonic Forces, even though it came out, what was it, like
2017.
4 years after
yeah.
Lost World, 3 of those years were spent on pre-production, and only 1 year was spent on developing it.
Yeah, it was like working on the engine, the new engine for PS4 and Xbox One.
Yeah. And then
That's
it
what we got heads up
ended
in,
up being a
yeah.
shitty use of the engine because you couldn't really tell the difference. Other
I would
than
say
it
you
running
can
at
tell the
60
difference with the
FPS.
lighting. I think you can tell the difference with the lighting, but like, you know, it's not the best game
Like,
for showing off the head
Like
engine
at
too.
launch, before people did some more dissecting of it to see the real differences under the hood, it was so insignificant that people thought you could just port over stuff from Hedgehog Engine 1 into Hedgehog Engine 2, and it worked natively. And, like, also the fact that most of the cutscenes in the game are pre-rendered, except for only the ones that feature the custom character. So they didn't even get a good way to show off the new effects of the engine. Because, like, the whole point of the engine switch was to be able to have the same model and graphical fidelity in cutscenes as they were in-game. And then almost everything in the game is pre-rendered in cutscenes, except for, like, just a handful.
I think since it seems like the only level that's like, and like that like has like unnoticeably like really good lighting and stuff, but I didn't like the color that Sonic was in that game. He's too light blue.
I didn't like the overall washed, like more washed out pastel palette, or like desaturated palette that the game had overall.
Yeah, and then Frontiers came out. Honestly, it kind of looks worse, if I'm being honest. Well, I don't want to say it looks worse. It's more unfinished art style that I don't like. Because, like, I think the environments in Frontiers look nice. It's just the pop-in. One, the pop-in sucks. And two, I don't think the art style was a good fit for Sonic.
Like, it... As much as I love Frontiers and appreciate the hard work and behind-the-scenes drama that went into it, I have to admit, it very much looks like a Nintendo hire this man ass art style. You probably know exactly what I mean, where someone makes like a really shitty Unreal Engine tech demo of like, what if Mario was in Unreal Engine 5? And it looks horrible, but because it's high graphical fidelity without any regards to contrast to clashing art styles, people think it looks good.
I think it looks like it doesn't look like a professional game, to be totally honest, at times.
Yeah.
Especially in the animation department.
Yeah, that's why I'm hoping going on they put more time and work into character animations, because like a lot of people blame it on these models. I don't think it's the models. It's that they're not rigged to be expressive.
Yeah, I think it's the rigging is
We're facing a dangerous foe, Sonic.
Like, I've seen worse. Sonic 06 had good models that were rigged horribly.
Yeah.
Like, the only facial expressions they can make are raising and lowering their eyelids.
I think there's actually a change in when you're classic Sonic, I think the dialogue in the original game was a little better, because I like he says in this version, I think it's like along the lines of, I'm trying to remember, things along the lines of, I saw what enemy's up to, and he's pure evil, which doesn't go as hard as I saw the soul of our enemy, and it's like complete darkness. I think that line goes harder.
I haven't heard the classic Sonic versions yet, because I just generally don't play the stages in that order.
The classic Sonic version for Knuckles is hilarious, because they changed the line. I think in the original it was like, Knuckles asks, hey, did you gain some weight? And Classic Sonic looks like a stomach. But they kept that animation of Classic Sonic looking at his stomach when Knuckles asks what happened to his island. So it looks like he just ate Angel Island.
Guys, yeah. Still, I do miss old school Twitter, but you know.
I don't miss Twitter. Blue Sky is better.
No, it's old school Twitter.
I didn't even like old school Twitter.
Unfortunately, I joined Twitter like the year right before it got bad.
Has Twitter ever been good?
I don't know.
It has never been good.
It wasn't as bad.
The only reason I joined Twitter was to follow Hitomi Tanaka. And you know what? I don't regret it.
I wonder if Hitomi is on Blue Sky.
I don't think she is. She barely uses her Twitter anymore anyway. Because she does... As far as, like, blog stuff goes, she mostly uses her OnlyFans as that.
I forgot she had one.
I don't know who
Yeah, she's
Tanaka is.
She's
I'm
one of the
sorry.
most famous Japanese porn stars who has massive
Oh.
donka-donka-badonkas. Like, she makes, if we're, since I'm a VTuber and we're bringing up VTubers, you know Zentreya?
Yes, I do. The gecko.
Well, technically, yes. She's not always a gecko. Sometimes she's a
I like her
humanoid
gecko
dragon girl.
VTuber model a lot.
And sometimes she's a cyborg, like a robot girl with a skin-tight bodysuit. There's a gag in her community that every time she gets a new model, people have to ask if her boobs got bigger, and she always denies it, even though they do look bigger each time.
They do.
I do like her current model right now. It looks really nice.
Yeah,
I
I always
like
like
them
her
are definitely
Halloween
the best one.
models, because they're usually really cute.
I have no idea which model is my favorite of hers.
But the
I
dragon
do
model
have a
is...
question.
The dragon variants
sorry.
of her models are always my favorite, because that's how I was introduced to her. It's not her original model, but she doesn't use her original model anymore.
I do have a question. Did they add any music for Sonic Generations? Like any later songs?
I'm not sure. Well, they did in Shadow's campaign, but not in the Sonic campaign.
Oh, that's disappointing. Doing Shadow's campaign down fine with that then.
But anyways, you know how Zentreya's like really busty?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hitomi Tanaka, it makes her look flat.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hitomi Tanaka keeps growing.
Oh.
She started as a J cup.
Oh my god.
She is now an
Really?
O cup.
That's okay. 1 second. Let me just look up. Tell me.
Calm down, boy. Calm down.
I'm never calm.
She's also learning English so she can interact with her international fans. I even asked her on my old Twitter account how much English she knows, and she says that she's self-taught.
Collect energy cores to power yourself up. Get 2 energy cores per round to power
Found the bully shadow. I
Yep.
wonder, is the glitch of drifting still in this game, in this version of the game?
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
So, during the, in general, when you drift, constantly, drift left and back and forth, you move a little faster, and you can abuse that ability in this boss fight to move faster than Shadow.
I wasn't aware of that. I'll have to
I
try
wasn't
that out
aware of that
sometime.
either.
Yeah, you can actually try it out now, not like drift in a direction, just kind of flick the stick left and right while drifting, like that. Yeah, like that, and you actually move
I'm not
faster.
sure if that's faster or not.
It is actually. I'm seeing it.
Okay, so they kept that.
Yeah, and you can abuse it in this fight.
My problem in this fight is usually I go too fast and outrun the energy ball.
Shadow. Oh. I like the hard mode version of this fight more.
Yeah, the fight as is too easy.
And then Sonic just... I'm not sure why they in this direction for this fight.
I think they
Like,
just
yeah, just
wanted... like, it's hard to do a hedgehog versus hedgehog fight in the boost gameplay.
I mean, in fairness, this is much better than the Rivals fights in any of the previous games.
Yeah, because the mechanics actually make sense.
But
Like,
yeah,
the way that you deal damage in Sonic Adventure 2 for the Sonic vs. Shadow fights has never made sense to me. But, yeah, did you find what you were looking for with Hitomi Tanaka?
I forgot to look it up.
I want to hear your reaction live on stream.
Okay, 1 second.
Oh, by the way, Hex told me that they showed you the
Yeah,
Boom versus the werewolf.
the guy versus the werewolf. Holy shit, that went hard.
Yeah.
Sonic Adventure 2 was the last Sonic game you ever played. Glad to hear that other people felt just question mark about that fight. Yeah, that fight's never made sense to me. It's just like, he takes damage when he feels like it. And yeah, whoa's right.
I was gonna say, they look reasonably big. Now more. I'm like, whoa, those are huge.
And they're natural.
That's insane.
She's actually gotten so big now that she needs to wear, like, a medical corset to support her spine.
Yeah, I was going to say that has to hurt her back.
And she's mentioned it's caused some trouble in her love life because guys just want her for her booba.
Yeah. Oh, that's actually sad.
I'm gonna pop off the call for the night. I'll be in the chat for a bit, Ari, before I have to get back to practicing my lines and that monologue for tomorrow.
Fair enough.
Good night, JKR.
Good night, JKR.
Good night, guys. And also, glad to actually have you on the stream for once, Coffee Pot.
Yeah, it's so strange to actually speak on stream.
Yeah. You know, I will say this. I was similar. I was in a similar boat when I first started co-commenting with Ari years ago, before, like in the pre-Arikado days. But over time, you kind of get used to it.
I was just remembering one of those streams. What was it? Ratchet and Clank or? Huh? Yeah, it was either Kingdom. It was either it was a reaction type one for someone who won't be named.
Oh yeah, the reaction to the Batman Arkham.
Yeah. The thing is, I can't tell what kind of stream it was because it's now against TOS.
Yeah.
Yeah, back then it wasn't.
What, the Forbidden Stream? What happened?
It mostly just involves someone that I don't associate with anymore.
Stream may have made Discord.
Oh,
I think.
Oh, there we go.
He's back.
Oh man, maybe I shouldn't mention the Forbidden Stream.
As soon as you mentioned the Forbidden Stream, my bitrate shit itself.
Anyway, have a good night, guys. I'll be watching from the chat, though.
Have a good night, dude.
Later, guys.
Let's see. Twitch safe way to say this.
I mean, you can say the word, you just can't do the thing.
Oh yeah, it was one of those drinking streams where was it Kingdom Hearts or Ratchet and Clank? We did a reaction stream. It was like one of those. Oh no!
Now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
that was way long ago.
Yeah, that was still fun though.
That was before I was even a VTuber. That was when I was making like anti-Darkside Phil content. Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to keep it, kosher.
I wasn't drinking anything impairing. I was just drinking soda because I don't like drinking alcohol. And it did affect me in one way. It gave me the screaming shits later. I was drinking caffeine-free Diet Coke because that's all I had.
And now we're drinking sake.
What's sake?
Japanese alcohol, rice wine, basically.
Rice wine.
It sneaks up on you. I'm just going to tell you right now.
All I've had is beer, vodka, and a couple kinds of wine.
Oh, that reminds me.
And champagne.
There's a new drink. There's a new drink I want to get. Not for a drinking stream, so don't worry.
I'm not a huge drinker. Well, to be fair, I also only now turned 21 like a couple months ago, so like, you know, of course not.
Look at the baby. Oh, cute. Where's your mom?
I don't drink much because I don't like the taste of most alcoholic drinks. I don't like the burning sensation that comes with alcohol, and I don't like the feeling of being drunk.
Wait,
I
it
like the
burns?
burning sensation, but I
It
don't
depends
like the
on
feeling of
what
drunkenness.
alcoholic drink you're drinking. Like when I tried drinking vodka once, it burned like hell.
To be fair, I also like watered down a lot of the alcohol that I drink.
I drink my shit straight up.
I was drinking vodka straight from the bottle because I was just having a shitty time and did not want to deal with it.
Yeah, because I remember it was the second time I started drinking because it was my cousin's birthday a couple months ago, and I threw up. And the only reason I remember that, I associate X-Men 97 with that birthday party because I remember watching X-Men 97 right before I threw up. So
that is the only time I've been drunk was when I drank vodka that time, and I hated every second of it.
I didn't like it because I had to clean up the throw up.
I didn't throw up, thankfully, but I did have a massive headache the next day. Hey, thanks for the resub, JKR. 24 months in a row. Full 2 years.
That's how I felt after getting drunk.
You felt like Jeffrey screaming yes?
Yeah. Sonic, what are you doing?
I saw that.
Stop that.
Sonic, that kills people.
Hey, Shadow Dragon, hello. Glad to see you
Hey,
here.
Shadow Dragon.
We got Awfully Hot Coffee Pod, also known as Dash Cat is back, but they prefer Awfully Hot Coffee Pot on
I have
stream
a voice.
tonight. Yeah, he has a voice.
I'm actually a real person.
He has a nice voice. It's a very friendly voice.
Thanks.
I like to
my
compliment
voice.
people on their voices when they have nice voices, because it's not something you often get complimented for unless you're me, apparently.
Yeah. Like,
I've been
Ari
told
always
that I have
compliments
a
my
very
range.
comforting voice.
Like, Ari talks about my range, and I always blush when he does.
I also had one partner that would get off to my voice, but that's a story for another site that I don't have set up.
I never get off. I don't come.
You don't do
Ever.
this. I need to have, now that we've finished the RZYTP playthrough, I need to have I don't do this as a redeem.
Me, when I fail November, I do this. No, I messed it up. Dang it, I'm stupid.
Nah, it's okay. It's just nerves. Everybody gets performance anxiety every now and then. It's completely natural, especially during your first time.
Yeah, the same thing happened with your mother last night. It was pretty bad.
Joke's on you. I don't care about your mom jokes. My mom used to call me a son of a bitch, and I was like, you're right, I am your son.
Wait, you watch Pirate Software too?
I sound in a way that reminds me of Thor from Pirate Software. I take that as a compliment. I like his voice.
His voice is very calming.
Yeah, I like, I mean, as long as my voice isn't being called annoying, I like, comparisons to other people I sound like. Like, I've been mistaken for, like, I had one dude hop into one of my streams and when I mentioned that I voiced, Eggman in a Sonic fan dub once, which was an old fan dub of Sonic 06 that I did and never finished. I had one person think that I was Alfred from Snapcube.
That's like a compliment, honestly.
That is the highest honor. The only way it could be an even higher honor is if they thought I was Long John Baldry.
So in terms of famous people.
What?
Oh, say again?
Oh, is it the perfect chaos fight?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I was gonna say compliment I've gotten when it comes to sounding like a someone that's famous. Dale, the funky Homo sapien, who has done songs for the Gorillaz, 2 of them actually.
Yeah, Clint Eastwood and Rock the House.
Yes. Though I'm rusty with that voice now.
Oh man, I love this remix so much.
So do I. It's so good. It's more of an industrial remix, and I like it. It wouldn't fit in the original Sonic Adventure, but I still like it.
I like this one, yeah.
I might be using the term industrial incorrectly because I'm very bad at identifying specific music genres.
I think you're kind of right on this part. Especially when you listen to the guitars.
Like, I know that industrial fans are very picky about what they count as industrial. Well, I'm a metalhead, so I know that metal fans are very picky about what they count as metal. I've said to another metalhead that I knew in college that Def Leppard was metal, and she was like, "Fuck no, they're not metal." And meanwhile, the documentary Metal Evolution agrees with me that they were one of the founding members of the new wave of British heavy metal movement, but they transitioned out of metal towards a more glam sound. But they were at one point decidedly metal.
Bit dicey, yeah.
I mean,
you think that? No, whoa! I was gonna say something. Actually, no. Fuck it. Why not? You think that Perfect Chaos's tentacles feel good?
I mean, they're made of water. It depends on what kind of water they're made out of.
But would it have like that little scaly texture that he has on his body?
I would say
the
little
scaly
too big.
texture wasn't there in the original Sonic Adventure.
I think they said that they wanted it.
They
to be
said
there,
that
right?
they wanted it. They just couldn't do it. So this is how Perfect Chaos was always meant to look.
I love the lizard look. He looks very cute. I like him.
Yeah, he looks like a scary monster, but he also looks kind of cute. So he fits into the Sonic universe.
No, I whip him. I whip him like a lizard. He would fit in right. What's her name? Trip super form.
Oh hell yeah! I will hug him and pet him and squeeze him and call him George.
I like that you say this as he dies.
I mean, every time we bring this up, I do like the book of Mice and Men.
I heard of that book. I think I remember reading that in school.
We've read it in, I think, 7th or 8th grade.
We didn't read that in school, but we did read The Education of Little Tree, which I hate because that book was written by someone pretending to be Native American who's a massive racist.
You're doing great, Sonic.
Like, it was supposedly based on his childhood growing up with Native American ancestry and Native American grandparents, but it turned out he actually didn't have any Native American ancestry. He made that shit up based on stereotypes that he believed.
Whoa, did that emerald just scare off the monster?
Oh man, I love Classic Tails. He's so cute.
The only time that Classic Tails has had a voice, and it's adorable.
Well, I guess the second time.
I mean, in terms of games.
Restore the Chaos Emerald to full power too.
Like,
because he had voices in the cartoons.
Oh, I was thinking of the original generations when it was voiced by Kate Higgins.
Well, they brought back Kate Higgins to voice him in this game.
Oh, she's still. I thought it was Colleen, huh?
No, they also brought back Kate Higgins for new Tails lines in Sonic Colors Ultimate.
Oh, that's neat. I knew about Colors Ultimate, but I didn't know about this one. I thought it was just Colleen doing the same voice, except for squeakier.
I'm
and now we're into another
Kate Higgins.
And now we're into another nostalgia thing for you.
I do know that Colleen does Charmy's voice. Yeah, she does Charmy's voice because she did Charmy's voice in Forces. For the 5 lines of dialogue that he has in that game.
Yeah, and
Sorry,
it's
that
very
fan was
recognizably
too long without
Colleen
loading
in
that
this game.
Yeah, because it sounds like Worst Tales.
Yeah. Like, Colleen does have a good range. If you've ever seen the old Digimon dubs, she voiced Sora as her first major voice acting role ever.
Funny enough, the only other voice that I heard other than Sonic was, well, 1, Digimon, and 2, South Park.
Yeah, I keep forgetting she's in South Park.
Which is like, nothing like
Mostly
Digimon
because
or Sonic.
the role she voices in South Park was not originally voiced by her, so I keep forgetting that.
Oh, Shadow Dragon, yeah, that's canon too.
No, I never got into Darksiders. What's it about?
It's about, it's a little bit confusing to describe from, I've played a little bit of the first one. It's basically like, it starts off with the apocalypse happening, you know, the biblical book of Revelation happening with the war between the forces of heaven and hell, and you play as the horsemen of the apocalypse war in the first one, and it turns out, oops, someone set off the apocalypse too early, and they all think it was you.
No,
Like,
as it happens. No, sometimes people
Like,
make
it
mistakes.
wasn't actually time for the Book of Revelations to happen. Someone set it off early without going through the proper bureaucratic bureaucratic hierarchy. So you need to clean up this fucking mess.
They're making a new Darksiders. Did the third game do well? Because I remember it coming out, but nobody talking about it.
The third game didn't do as well as the first two, which is why it was put on hold for a while. Also, just change of publishers. The first one you play as War. The second one you play as Death. The third, they changed Pestilence and what are the other ones? Pestilence and I forget what the other Horseman of the Apocalypse is.
Famine.
Famine. They changed Pestilence and Famine to Fury and Strife. Because, you know, playing as the Horseman of Pestilence doesn't sound as badass as playing as the Horseman of Fury.
Probably think you can buy a life in this game when you're in the... I think in the mode, though, you don't have lives.
Yeah,
You
can turn on the option to have lives, but by default you don't have it. So
Which I think I prefer that, because lives kind of don't matter when you just buy a bunch of them in this game. So.
But they keep this in even if you don't have lives turned on, which is funny to me.
Yeah, I love wasting my money.
Like, there's barely anything to spend your points on to begin with, even with the new abilities they added.
No, I was really, really, really hoping that they had that bounce ability for Frontiers.
They don't, but you do get the drop dash by default.
Yeah, which looks pretty good. I really want to
It's at least going to make for some new speedrunning tricks.
I feel like it looks better for Modern Sonic for 2D sections than 3D sections.
Yeah,
really
drop dash just doesn't look or work well in 3D.
I'm gonna BRB. I'm BRB.
Okay. Nah, I really want to play this game again. It's not fair.
I forgot you have to press start to save your loadout.
I have to know if they changed Supersonic.
No.
Oh, that's sad.
Well, I haven't played it outside of the final boss fight yet, so they might have. I hope they do, because Supersonic is basically worthless as is, where it consumes rings way too fast. If that's what you're talking about. Like, in the original generations, he consumes rings, like, at a ridiculous rate, so there's no point in using him.
Especially if you boost.
Yeah. Just entered a TJ Omega giveaway for a Beast Wars Again Cheetor versus Waspinator. Awesome. I don't know what Beast Wars Again is, but good luck.
Wow, I really
Is it
like
one of
the-
those like many Japanese exclusive reissues of Beast Wars figures in different decos? Because Japan has a lot of those, which is weird considering Beast Wars wasn't, you know, as influential there as it was in America.
Wait, did you get the fire shield?
I did not get the fire shield because I didn't do the associating mission for it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, fire shield breaks this stage. I just got the regular shield.
I love this remix so much.
Yeah.
I think both the remixes of this level is really good.
I
Although
like both of the
I think I do,
remixes,
like-
but I don't think they're as good as the original version from Sonic.
Same. I love the original version, especially the part when you like, you know that part when like before you go into the Mach Speed section when there's that little horn that blares.
Yeah.
I love that part. That's like my favorite part of the song.
I mean, there's a
What
reason it's
happened?
one of the that a remix of it is one of the most popular songs for people to play on Clone Hero to try and get good.
Clone Hero? What's that?
It's a open source, not really open source, but like openly moddable free clone of Guitar Hero.
Oh, okay.
That's made like just for the custom songs community. And it has support for the original Guitar Hero controllers through either the Xbox ones that natively work in Windows or through various adapters you can buy.
And like I know that she hasn't appeared yet, but I really like Blaze's current voice actress.
Yeah, I believe
I mean, she
that's
doesn't sound that
Alexis
much
Tipton.
different.
I believe
I
that's
think I
Alexis
heard her in some
Tipton because
animes, but
Alexis
I don't-
Tipton has replaced Laura Bailey in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, when you don't get Warbear, you just get Alexis Tipton. Just like how if you don't have Matt, if you don't have Troy Baker, you just get Matt Mercer.
Yeah, and the whole reason Troy Baker's not in Sonic anymore is because he got too big for Sonic. And I think that also happened with Laura Bailey, starting with The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah, 'cause it was like 2 years right before those two games happened. I mean, it was 2 years right before that game happened.
I'm just left right now because too big for Sonic.
I mean, I guess
Like, Troy Baker
it's
is so
technically-
in demand right now that they can't afford to hire him anymore.
No, that's not what I'm laughing
I know
about.
what you mean.
Yeah.
And if
Oh.
anything, we know that Sonic's a Minuteman, like the Flash.
Well, let's be honest, Sonic's a top.
He's a top, but
Shadow.
he doesn't
No,
last
Shadow's
as
a bottom.
long. But he makes it a very. He makes it a very rough minute.
Less than that.
Yeah, like
Now,
he's-
Shadow,
Unfortunately, he's
man.
not. By the way, Tails Chow in this stage.
Oh.
That looks
I got
so
him right
cursed.
now. The Tails Chow that was in the Dreamcast version, but hidden away, and in the GameCube version, you could only get him by connecting it to Phantasy Star Online. And he's also in the PC version, but due to them not integrating a way to unlock him, you have to hack the game to get him, or use a mod. There was also an Amy Chow that was part of like a distribution event, but was never made available outside of that.
Oh, I forgot about that part.
The part
And
when
the
they
Amy
just
Chow, I
moved the
believe, is
golden
also
away.
in this game.
I really like the new Chow design. Well, I guess the old Chow designs. I really like the old Chow designs.
I mean, most of the Chow in this game are Sonic Adventure 2 Chow designs.
Well, you
Even the,
see, I never
even
engaged with
the-
the Chow Garden, so
Even the Shadow Chow is a Sonic Adventure 2 Chow.
Yeah.
The red stripes were when it reached its second stage of life. But started out in its first when it was in its like first adult form, it would have green stripes. It's just the Kingdom figures repainted with more show-accurate decos by Takara. Damn, I might actually look at picking that up.
Thanks.
Because while I like Kingdom Waspinator, I could always do with a more show-accurate one without the purple wings.
I just saw Snowy Zora talking about the Sonic 2 menu music. We're hitting them with a lot of nostalgia.
Well, the whole point of Sonic Generations is nostalgia. So
It's really the nostalgia game. And then they kept on doing it after that.
Yeah, to diminishing returns. The worst part of
I mean,
Sonic Mania
still
is
doing
the
it.
lack of new stages.
Yeah.
I agree, because I was playing Sonic Mania recently, and I really like that game, but like, I don't know, I just kind of like deflated
I
every time
like the
play
way
it.
it plays. I like the level design. I wish it had more new aesthetics. Instead of just mostly being variations of stages from Sonic 1, 2, and like one CD stage and one Sonic 3 stage.
Honestly, I think Flying Battery is better than Sonic 3 than it is in Mania.
I
Well, at
don't
least
like
Act 1
Flying
is.
Battery in either of them, but it's better in Sonic 3. Because it's, like, not placed as the second or third level in the stage. In the game, if you're playing Sonic 3 and Knuckles as one game. So it's not, like, a huge difficulty spike that early on.
I also just think the level design was generally better in the original, at least for Act 1.
Yeah, it's not, like, trying to overload it with gimmicks to make it stand out from the... Well, it didn't have an original to stand out from, so it's not overloaded with gimmicks to try and make it stand out. And the boss is not, you know, shit.
I'm trying to remember the boss. Oh yeah, the
boss
spider
is
boss.
the spider boss, the one that spawned the Eggman's daughter omelet meme.
And then they accidentally made that.
Then they actually gave him a daughter, but didn't have her look like that. Also, a neat detail about Sage that I didn't notice on my first playthrough, but once it was pointed out to me, I'm like, oh yeah, they did do that. In her, for lack of a better term, good color scheme, where she, like, turns more of a whitish color for her outfit, she has the same color scheme as Maria's outfit.
Oh, I didn't know. Oh, that explains the shoes.
So
her shoe
the
changes.
more good she becomes, the more she starts to look like Maria.
That's
Trying
neat.
to bring in the gun.
I mean, in spoilers for Sonic Frontiers, in the normal boss fight, she gets to wield the gun.
Sorry, I was. Heart attack. I thought you were going to say spoilers for Shadow Generations.
No, I'm not spoiling Shadow Generations because that just came out. But Kier has not played Sonic Frontiers.
Spoilers for
And
Sonic
has not
Frontiers.
looked up
Sonic is in it.
the ending of it.
That still is one of my favorite boss fight musics, though, for both endings of the game.
The only thing I've ever looked up is the music.
Both of the final boss fights are not that good, in my opinion.
But they have really good music.
They have really good music, and the new supersonic form in the DLC is, while it's you know, not all that different in terms of how it plays from regular supersonic, apart from having a worse parry.
A worse parry that I won't point out you can just spam. Like, you can, like, constantly spam that button to get guaranteed parries.
Yeah, they actually made it more forgiving in one of the patches for the DLC, because at first it was like a 3-frame parry.
And they also had to buff all the other characters, because all the characters could not do any damage to the bosses.
Yeah.
And fix Knuckles' gliding.
Yeah. You could tell that the DLC was a little bit rushed. You know, Sonic content being rushed, perish the thought.
You can tell that the DLC had, like, 5 people working on it.
Yeah.
I think I have the right to hold a gun. Now
Find Your
just
Flame slaps,
imagining.
by the way, along with Undefeatable. Hell yeah. Gilly
Find
the
Your Flame
Kid,
is
if
the
you're
best
familiar
one.
with him in the retro reviewing scene, did a cover of Find Your Flame. Not Find Your Flame, the second one. Is that Find Your Flame?
Break
One
Through
from
It
the
All.
wife. Yeah, Break Through It All. He did a cover of Break Through It All. And it turns out Gilly the Kid has good metal vocals.
But Find Your
I
Flame,
just
is the
imagine-
best one. Anybody disagrees, should get banned. I can ban you now.
I'm just looking at Snowy
Which
Zoro
one's the
was-
best one? Because I didn't hear.
Find Your Flame.
Find Your Flame, agreed. It's like got total Linkin Park energy, and I love that. It's got more Linkin Park energy than the actual Linkin Park does now.
It kind of reminds me of Metal Gear Solid, not Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Rising.
Metal Gear all the boss themes have got Metal Gear Rising energy to me. In terms of how unnecessarily hard they go.
Yeah, I agree on that.
It's Blaze. I wish you can appear more in video games instead of
Yeah.
always having cameos.
As much as I dislike relying on others, I'm grateful for your aid. The creature was
Yeah,
skilled.
Shadow Dragon they did, but no one likes.
No
the
one
new
likes
singer.
her because she's a Scientologist.
Oh, more than that. Basically, a lot of things that Linkin Park used to stand for, she's against. Like even Chester's son was like, "Yeah, you got it terrible for replacing my father." But with
I don't know
Snowy
why they
Zoro
chose
thing-
the Scientologist lady instead of the kid of Chester. I mean, that wouldn't be the first time that a class. Is it fair to call Linkin Park classic rock now?
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't be the
Maybe
first
emo
time that
rock?
classic rock band chose the son of an original member to be a member of the band. If they had done that, the version of Van Halen that I saw live had Eddie Van Halen's son as their bassist, Wolfgang Van Halen, or Wolfie as he's affectionately known and prefers to go by.
We're going by Snowy Zoro's comment. I just imagine a Suyin Zoro with a gun, just firing it.
He uses neutral special as his neutral special is a gun.
I mean, if they added Shadow as a character to Smash, that could theoretically be one of his moves. Also, I didn't know this path existed.
I didn't know that either.
I love this
All it
theme.
exists
That was
for is to
cheap.
give you a speed up.
That's a terrible location for a speed up.
You failed.
Okay,
There we
I will
go.
say Classic Sonic's physics feel a bit better here. I'm not sure
I
if it's
really
just a
wanna try-
placebo thing, but I do feel like Classic Sonic feels a bit better in this version of Generations than he did in the original.
Yeah, the way you're controlling it looks like it's
Does he
better.
jump higher?
I don't think he jumps higher, it's that he's got more momentum. Like, you know, momentum in a Sonic game?
Harris,
The M word.
we were
We're about to
talking
start
about
a
this a
whole
year
Twitter
ago.
discourse about momentum in Sonic games.
We were talking about this too, actually, years ago.
Yeah, there was a huge Twitter discourse before Frontiers came out about whether momentum needs to be in 3D Sonic games.
I feel like it just depends on how they do it. I mean, like, yeah, it's how they do it.
Yeah, my idea is
There's,
like,
like-
it depends on whether the level design calls for momentum or not.
Because, like, I do prefer it to be there, but I think what's, like, kind of hard for people to process is how they do it with the boost. I think
Yeah,
that they,
like-
they think that only the spin dash, the adventure style can do it, but, like, I'm pretty sure the boost can also do it. Well, I guess Shadow Generations kind of proved it, that they can do it. So, I don't
Yeah,
know.
like, my problem with the boost mechanic in a lot of the more poorly designed boost era games, which I would count Colors as one of them. I'm sorry, Colors.
I love Colors.
Colors is not a bad game. It's a bad 3D Sonic game because it's barely 3D.
That sucks. I love Colors so much.
Go back and play it. It's mostly 2D sections, and the 3D is
yeah,
just
I agree with you.
hallways.
It's mostly 2D sections. But it's so fun.
It's fun, but like, I don't think it's good Sonic level design because it's more Mario-like in how it's laid out.
Snowy Zora, I have a question to ask you now. In Gen 10, will Hisui and Zoroark have a shotgun or the rocket launcher from Squirrel with a Gun?
You know, speaking of stuff from the Pokemon leaks, I ruffled some feathers with a hypothetical cursed realization on Blue Sky earlier today.
Oh.
If the Pokemon leaks are to be considered some form of canon, which I say they should, because they are official stuff from the developers.
I agree.
Even if they didn't make it into the game, they were clearly intended to be at one point.
I think some of it actually is like in the game, but like edited, if I'm not mistaken. It's not like
story stuff.
At least some lore stuff is in there.
I'm talking specifically about the furry stuff.
I said lore, but yeah.
I was responding to Kier.
Sorry.
When he said not the furry stuff.
I didn't say furry.
I thought you did.
Nope.
Sorry.
I mean, I'm pretty sure the furry stuff is actually just canon in the game, at least in the Japanese localization of the game.
I said, if that stuff is to be taken as some form of canon, then the Vaporeon copy pasta has some merit for being lore accurate.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Like,
I mean, remember, they ate at the same table. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Not only that, there's actually a throwaway joke in the manga where a man...
Yeah, the girl takes a bath with a tentacle or tentacle
it was a guy.
Or something.
It was a guy.
Oh.
Even better.
He said, that's the last time I take a bath with my tentacle.
I think it was actually a tentacruel because tentacle only has two tentacles.
I can check.
That's all you need.
Keep in mind, tentacruel is not supposed to be as big as it appeared in that one episode of the anime because that was in the anime. That was still an unusually large tentacle.
Yeah, I know that. Basically, they're larger than a bathtub, though. I know
and
that.
And also in that manga, that was from one of the manga that was like made before they decided on a lot of the more lore accurate stuff for the games. Like I believe that was from one of the gag manga, like the one that had Red with a Clefairy as his starter that could talk.
Okay, so here's the thing: we were both right and both wrong. It was a girl. Cause I can see the picture, and it says, "I will never bathe with my tentacle again." So we were both right and wrong at the same time.
Okay. It just seems weird that they would choose Tentacool since that only has the 2 tentacles, which makes for a boring tentacle encounter.
Who's gonna fit this way?
I mean, I'm just saying, it goes on both holes. So,
What's gonna fit in your bathtub? That's the
but
question.
you know, if you want the good tentacle stuff, you gotta get something that like gets all over ya.
Tangrowth. Why settle for the few that
Well, Tangrowth didn't exist at that point.
I know. Tangela technically has more.
Tangela has more, but they don't think of it as a tentacle monster.
I do.
I said they don't because they're cowards.
I can introduce you to some fan art.
I'm talking about the people that made the manga, not the fan artists. Because the fan artists are not too afraid to do that. Also, speaking of fan artists, I've seen the most interesting crossover between Pokemon and completely unrelated. A often neglected Pokemon game and one of my favorite franchises that I never would have thought to cross it over with.
Rangers?
No, it was Pokemon Coliseum with it was Miyabi and Riona from Senran Kagura dressed as Wes and Rui respectively from Pokemon Coliseum.
That is nice.
That's some space brain level stuff there, because I never would have thought to do that. And Miyabi does work as a West cosplayer because they both have silver hair.
I haven't played. I think I played Gale of Darkness.
I never got a chance to play
Wes and Rui were only in the original Pokemon Coliseum. And Wes, I will die on this hill, is the best Pokemon protagonist because he starts out the game by bombing the evil organization's lair and stealing their tech, and then riding off on his comically over-designed motorcycle.
Hover motorcycle, yes, with a giant hot rod engine on it and accompanying passenger seat for his Espeon and Umbreon. Mm-hmm.
Also, the fact that they're very unsubtle about the fact that Wes and Nascour are supposed to be Cloud and Sephiroth. Hey, Death, I knew you were going to show up at some point. We were talking about you earlier because Chris thought that JKR was the Puerto Rican one here.
Gale of Darkness is the sequel to Coliseum, right?
It's the sequel to Coliseum, yes.
Can we also agree that Mirror B is in the top 5 best antagonists in Pokemon history?
Roger that.
Just because of his theme song, dancing, the hair.
And for having a Pokemon lineup that's completely appropriate for his theme.
Yes.
Oh, who voices Vector?
I think it's Keith Silverstein. Could be wrong about that, but I think it's Keith Silverstein.
Because he sounds identical to the previous one.
I'm pretty sure he was basing. I'm pretty sure Keith Silverstein was in both of them.
Oh, he's in both. I thought he got recast. Not when Boom came out, he got recast. Or Forces.
I'm not sure because I haven't looked at the entire voice cast of this era. Because so many of these characters only appear in Generations and Forces.
Yeah, because, let's see, Sonic, Amy still has the same voice actor. Tails, Knuckles got different ones. All the Chaotix got new ones, I believe.
You're so between a spring and a spring.
No, maybe I should just put Vector VA in Google, or because they
go on behind the voice actors, and it'll have a list of everyone who's played Vector.
No, I just put Vector VA, and I got Despicable Me. I didn't specify what Vector.
I didn't like this stage when I played it.
Nobody liked this stage when they played it.
Yeah, I don't like it either because it's too late to be introducing new mechanics.
And it sucks.
Yeah, I was confused as hell when I was playing it for the first time.
Like in Game Design 101, Game Design 101, you don't want to be introducing new mechanics in the final stage of the game.
I think Classic Sonic's Planet Wish is so much worse than Modern Sonic's.
Yeah, because they clearly didn't know how to translate classic, how to put Classic Sonic's gameplay into
colors,
a boost era level. One that was already mostly 2D, funnily enough.
And they picked the worst Wisp to do it with. I do not like Spike Wisp at all.
They picked the worst stage from Sonic Colors to do it with.
I mean, I like Planet Wish.
It's not the worst stage in the game, it's just the worst representation for the game.
Yeah, I'll probably say either Sweet Mountain or Tropical Resort would probably be better.
Sweet Mountain, Tropical Resort, or Asteroid Coaster would be better. Asteroid Coaster would be more thematic for the final stage of the game.
Aquarium Park probably would have been
Aquarium
better.
Park 2. Any stage except for Planet Wisp, because Planet Wisp is too calming for a final stage.
Yeah. The first time I still don't like it, but the first time I played it, I was so confused. And I kept dying constantly. I'm like, what am I supposed to do?
A little fun story about Sonic Colors when I was a kid.
JKR.
I remember asking my parents, hey, I want the Sonic game for the Wii when I was a kid. And they got me Sonic and the Secret Rings.
I rented
And it took
Sonic
me, like,
and the
2
Secret
more-
Rings once, and I returned it the next day because fuck that game.
I didn't. I played that game way too much. I have Stockholm Syndrome. I like that game, but it's not good.
It's the only game I've ever played where I can say it's unplayable because of the controls. Usually I can adapt to, you know, archaic or non-standard control schemes, but that game just asks too much of you.
What in the world happened there? I know you
Physics
can
happened.
just spin dash on the ledge. I mean, not on the ledge, on the wall.
All I gotta say is, Zor, I like your list.
1 Getsus, 2 Mirror B, 3 Giovanni, 4 Guzma, 5 Lucamine. Having not played anything past Gen 5, I can agree with that list. Well, I've played a little bit of X and Y and a little bit of Sun and Moon, but I lost interest in them very quickly.
Gen 5 was my first game. X and Y was my second. No.
I played them all in order, so.
Yeah, Gen
And
5 was
for a
my first
record,
game.
I'm not even a Gen 1er. My favorite game is Coliseum.
Yeah, Gen 5 was my first game. I was trying to remember that. I do remember playing Gale of Darkness, but I don't know when. And I probably played Gen 5 before that one. So.
And for the record, to further solidify that I'm not a Gen 1er, so this is from like a more nuanced perspective, I don't like Gen 1 at all other than for its, you know, historical value, because it's not fun for me to play because it's held together with its code is held together with duct tape, string, and hope.
Well, I start off with Gen 1. My favorite Gen technically is 3 because it gave me my favorite Pokemon being Flygon. Though I prefer the story in both Coliseum and in Black and White 1.
I can't call a gen where the type matchup mechanics fundamentally do not work the best gen.
But another thing,
to
give you an idea about who Lucamine is, depending on if you're playing the original Sun and Moon or Ultra games, it's very different. Versus also the
Ultra Sun and
anime.
Moon not being as good as regular Sun and Moon.
Well, they use the same story.
I just know that a lot of people think that Lucamine is like mommy, sorry mommy.
But she is mommy.
Well, I mean, that's true, and they're right. If you don't think so, fall off the face of the planet.
Like, I know that a lot of people like Lucamine in a hear me out kind of way.
I mean, I can fix her. Or I can do evil with her.
Like, depending on... you compare her from the games versus the anime. One, she's very doting mother, and then in the game, she's like, fuck them kids of mine.
Which is the base move. Just saying.
The main thing is the Ultra Beast stuff drove her mad because she just wanted her husband. That's like the canon in both. I have not seen Yellow Legacy, but I heard of Crystal Legacy. I think someone made them harder, I think, right?
Don't you just love the Spike music? How it just
It
gets rid of the
my
beautiful
ears.
Planet Wisp music and goes dun 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 dun.
Yeah, it pleases my ears. It's like ecstasy to me. It actually, like, you know, it's like the equivalent of getting a needle and like shoving it down my urethra.
Yeah, Lucamine was an interesting take on a antagonist.
Now, if only they, from my understanding, a lot of people are like, if only they didn't use that same take for the next several games.
Who was the antagonist in Sword and Shield? I forgot.
The director.
Director who basically said the next
global
1,000
warming
years.
guy.
The next
climate
1,000
change guy.
years. The world's gonna have chaos and lose power 1,000 years. Why? You make no sense.
This part is so beautiful, and then it goes from peak to trash.
Yeah. Like, I feel like this is like the only stage in the 3D Sonic stages that's mostly 2D, and I feel like that's trying to be faithful to how.
Yeah, I definitely knew I know it was intentional because I'm pretty sure they were aware that
that makes it a worse stage halfway through.
Yeah, the shade of green hurts my eyes also, don't worry. I'm looking on 2 different monitors, and on my
he is very
the non-TV screen is just bloom. On the TV, not as strong.
Yeah, it is a very blown out shade of green, but thankfully it disappears a little bit into the stage.
It's like
lime green. Looks better than Sonic Colors Ultimate.
It's like lime green.
It's almost like this was made by a competent development team and not Blind Squirrel. Blind Squirrel is the same studio. Blind Squirrel is the same studio that gave us the beloved Switch version of WWE 2K18, the one that's so bad that it can't even run local multiplayer without dipping into single-digit frames. So, the perfect team to hire for a Sonic game.
Man, I really wish that it was just Sonic Team that did that remaster.
Obviously, they were too busy working on. They were all hands on deck on Frontiers for that one, so I get why they hired an outside developer. But why Blind Squirrel? Apparently it was because they were impressed by their work on the Mass Effect remasters, but that's like the only good remaster they've ever done. They also did the BioShock remaster that everyone hates.
Yeah, and don't worry, Snowy, I'm with you with the eyes. You already know how bad my eyes are.
My eyes are also very sensitive to very bright colors. It's partly why I keep my house so dark.
It's also, the funny thing is, we were actually having a talk about light mode and dark mode in the server.
Yeah, that's why I use dark mode
is
for
better.
everything.
Dark mode should be the neutral, the fault.
Anybody who has light mode should probably have the rights of should probably have their own rights taken away from them.
There's a reason that Discord got rid of light mode in an update.
Because nobody liked it.
Yes.
No one. Here's the thing about light mode. No one really uses it except for really, really old people who don't know better.
The only people that use light mode are the people that don't know how to change it to dark mode.
Yeah. Also, I tried the borderless gaming. I couldn't get it to work with Squirrel with a gun.
It depends on what engine it's running on. Certain engines don't work very well with borderless gaming.
I didn't know that.
Like, Unreal doesn't work with borderless gaming. Any Unreal engine doesn't work with borderless gaming.
I don't know what engine, so I never looked that information up.
This is a decent remix of this song. I like this remix.
Yeah, I still prefer the more beautiful. It's better than the Sonic Colors Ultimate remix, where it goes way too hard for this stage.
I like the Sonic Colors Ultimate remix in isolation.
I like it as a remix. I don't like it as the stage theme.
In fact, I think all the Colors Ultimate remixes are actually pretty good.
I think a lot of them are pretty good. It's just a lot of them aren't as good as the originals, which is why when I play through Colors Ultimate,
I think Aquarium Park is legitimately better than the original.
When I play Colors Ultimate, I play it with the Ultimate Mix, where it like swaps back and forth between the originals and the remixes from stage to stage instead of just choosing one or the other. Which is something they had to add in a patch, which is stupid.
And they also have to buy which is remix.
Yeah, you had to buy a $5 DLC or pre-order the digital deluxe version to get all the music.
For some reason.
It's because Sega has this mandate that every game needs to have pre-order bonuses and DLC, even if it doesn't fit the game, which is why the DLC for Colors Ultimate was so shit. It's like, oh, pre-order and you can get a movie Sonic skin and a movie Sonic boost aura that is barely noticeable, and a movie Sonic profile picture that nobody's gonna look at because it's for the leaderboards that no one gives a shit about, and you can get gold shoes for Sonic in the character customization that nobody uses because it sucks.
At least that's better than camera controls and Origins.
Oh yeah.
For the menus.
Move the camera on the menu screen.
That and mirror mode.
Yeah, mirror mode.
Like,
stuff that should be base content in the game and not DLC. Like, it's the definition of stripping out features to sell them as DLC.
Well, I will say one thing.
EA stripping out an entire character and making them a pre-order bonus or DLC, and making it a character that's actually pretty important to the plot.
Or characters on a disc.
Exclusive side quest for open world Ubisoft.
Or the characters on the disc, which pissed everyone off when any company did that.
Yeah, especially Capcom back in the 2010s were so guilty of that. Street Fighter Cross Tekken locking a quarter of the cast behind DLC, even though they're all on the disc. And making people wait 6 months after launch to get the DLC to unlock them.
Time for the best boss fight in Sonic history. Time Eater.
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or not.
Time for the best boss fights in Sonic history. Time Eater.
Dude, there's the
I like its aesthetic, but I don't like how it plays. And it's not even it's even worse in the 3DS version.
Don't you love that you can there's a part where you have to switch from Modern Sonic Classic Sonic, but it's completely pointless?
Yeah, because I don't think you can even damage him as Classic Sonic.
pretty slick move.
Or if you can, I've never managed to do it. Yeah, Street Fighter Cross Tekken had bad box art Mega Man as a playable character, but he's only in the PlayStation versions because Microsoft didn't bother.
Because somebody took me, but
it's like that really old-looking Mega Man guy.
Yeah, people thought it was like a dirty, fuck you joke towards the Mega Man fandom because it was during the great Mega Man cancellations of the 2010s. But it turned out it was supposed to be a tie-in to Mega Man Universe, which happened to get canceled.
Yeah.
Man,
by the way,
I gotta
the damn B.
I gotta say, Charmy's voice is not good.
It's bearable here.
Never had a good voice.
It's bearable here, at least.
It sounds so, what's the word, shrill?
Squeaky.
Yeah, squeaky. And it's very transparent. That's calling O'Shaughnessy doing the voice.
Makes you want to stab it in the face with, like, a cannon.
Makes you want to get the smoker out.
Makes you want to get a sawed-off. Shotgun and shoot him off. Not get off from a sawed-off shotgun. Poor phrasing, sorry.
I have seen someone do that, but I wish I hadn't.
I'm not even. I don't even. How does it even?
It was in a hentai, and it ended very messily because it was not a very pleasing scene.
I swear, hentai is weird.
Okay, my mind just went blank, and I think I already know exactly what you're talking about.
It was a hentai from the same studio that made Bible Black, and it's like people using the shotguns on some girls, and then one of them pulls the trigger.
Oh, I've seen that. Yep, I know where it's from too. I don't know information.
I'm not even gonna look that up.
I don't know what hentai it's from. I've just seen the scene, because a friend of
It's
mine
all
said that
uplifted.
it made her afraid of hentai.
Fair enough.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm never watching that again.
Yeah, all I
Sega,
remember it was post-apocalyptic. That's all I remember. I took that much out because I don't want to remember.
She thought it was from
anymore.
Bible Black, and I can understand why, because it's the same art style as Bible Black.
But Sega, we need a Rouge game based off of the animation of Bible Black. Thank you. Please.
Sega, we need a game, we need a dating sim where the only option is Rouge the Bat.
You may be entitled to financial compensation.
We need a
Or Vanilla the Rabbit.
Or Vanilla the Rabbit, yes.
Remember, she's the size of an average human mother.
She's the size of an average human mother.
And it's gonna be called Hot Chick Heaven.
Hot Chick Heaven. If only we could see about Wave the Swallow. If only we could see her take wing. I still don't know what that means, and I don't want to know.
Like, use her wing?
That's what he says about Wave the Swallow at the end of the Wave the Swallow segment. I'm like, I don't know what you mean by that, and I don't want to know.
Like, come on, it's right there. Like, why didn't you say, like, a Roman can see her swallow? Like, it's right there. Come on, dude.
Because he was someone that tried to be wholesome. I remember one of his non-Sonic videos was a rant about how people swear too much on YouTube.
You can try to be wholesome while sipping for Sonic characters?
He also made a re-edited version that wasn't archived until recently, apparently, which was reframed from top 10 hottest Sonic characters to top 10 cutest Sonic characters, so it came off as less degenerate, and instead it made it sound more degenerate.
Oh my.
How's that possible?
Because instead of just sounding outwardly horny, it sounded like he was trying to be horny low. He was trying to be like horny off main. Like trying to be secretive about how horny he was.
Wear your horny on your sleeve.
Yeah, just like us.
Honestly, I'm more surprised how tame that was this stream. Try and keep it. I guess not what I have to say out loud. Like, man, I don't want to be judged.
Try to keep it advertiser friendly.
Yeah, Sega make a dating sim where you have the options between Rouge, that one lady from Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, and Vanilla, and
Topaz.
Topaz from Sonic X2, yeah.
And Topaz.
Topaz and Rouge were totally in a lesbian relationship in that show. Sega's just too afraid to admit it.
Yeah, they were cousins for each other.
Yeah, they weren't lesbian. They weren't in a lesbian relationship. They were just cousins, very affectionate cousins. That makes it worse.
Oh, I just made myself sad because
just...
there was a Reddit thing that was on YouTube Shorts that popped up.
I mean, as someone who's been shipped with their own cousin before,
ew,
it's not. What makes it worse is I was being shipped with my own cousin by my stepmom. And the cousin was from her side of the family.
I don't like this conversation. That's all
I'm gonna say. She said it as a joke, but it wasn't a funny joke.
So we can spam Blaze.
Enough with the fun.
I can't wait. I need to get back to the Sly streams so we can get to Sly 3 and see enough with the sauce in context.
Yeah.
I know what the context is, but I want my co-commentators that have never played the Sly series to see it in context.
I played it, but I forgot it.
It's in response to it's in response to Sly's Italian accent. He says, "Enough with the."
Oh yeah, that's right.
No, wait, it's not in response to the Italian accent. It's him talking about, like, one of the guards brings up his family's famous pasta sauce. And Sly starts wondering if he can get some of that sauce, and Bentley says, "Enough with the sauce!"
Bentley's just the best character in Sly Cooper.
He's at his peak in Sly 3 when he get with the way that he insults Mugshot, where he's like, where it's like hey, if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. And then Bentley just stays silent from that point onward.
You got nothing really nice to say?
That's cold, man. Let me guess.
Another character.
You got nothing nice to say, so you staying quiet. You really got nothing nice to say? That's cold, man.
I'm gonna say, I like my Sly 3. Might be. I think it is my favorite Carmelita Fox.
A lot of people say Sly 3 Carmelita is one of their favorites, up there with Sly 1 and Sly 4. No one likes Sly 2 Carmelita from what I've seen.
Yeah.
She also just didn't have the accent in that game.
It's because they wanted her in that game to sound more like Jessica Alba. And I'm like, okay, so she sounds like generic white lady. Got it.
Yeah.
Like, the original idea for Carmelita is that she would have different accents each game because she's a globe-trotting police officer, so she would pick up various accents from wherever she's stationed at the time. Before they settled on her just being a feisty Latina.
Which Shadow will love, despite being gay.
Yes.
I just love the Latinas, Sonic.
I just love Latinas, Sonic. Adios,
I was just in
amigo.
here smashing Sonics.
It was actually funny. I saw some fan art that someone drew Sonic talking to Brazilian Miku.
I mean, I'm pretty sure ever since Iron Mouse first saw that animation out of context, I say animation, it's more of a fan dub. Out of context, she's now a fan of Shadow. Considering she also reacted to the Sonic 3 trailer. Which I haven't seen a reaction, but she and Zentreya reacted to it. And the clip of it that was uploaded to YouTube was called Bishoujo Latinas React to Sonic 3 trailer. Which I'm like, is Zentreya Latina? I know she's Texan.
Maybe. That's a good question.
I don't know, because we've never seen Zentreya IRL.
I mean, she's a dragon.
A Latina
She's also
dragon.
a robot.
She's
Depending on which
robot.
version of her model she has.
Well, I didn't even know you can home attack that far.
You can homing attack from any distance as long as it registers the reticle.
By the way, I really like this boss fight. It might be my favorite in the game, and also this gimmicks really good.
It's a better Egg Dragoon fight than the one in Sonic Unleashed, in my opinion.
Oh, you mean hold the charge, the charge punch button and win?
Yes.
But no, wasn't the Egg Dragoon also in Sonic Adventure 1?
No, it
was in
debuted
Sonic
in Unleashed. You're thinking of
And
the
they came back with
you're thinking of the Egg
Forces.
Viper.
Thank you, yes.
And they
My
came
bad
back
on
with
that.
Sonic Forces for some reason.
They brought back in Sonic Forces and only had Classic Sonic fight it because they needed to give him something to do. It's almost like he shouldn't have been in the game.
That being said, I really like Egg Dragoon's design. It might be my... what's it called? What was the one from Lost World? It wasn't Egg Emperor. I think that was
No,
Heroes,
Egg Emperor
right?
was Heroes.
But what were the one from Lost World? I really like that one too.
That one looks great. I
yeah.
just can't remember what it's called. But its boss fight is shit because it's just the Sonic Colors boss fight again.
Yeah, the Sonic Colors boss fight, except lamer and easier.
Yeah, I beat it on
But
my
it has
first
a
try, which was surprising
sick-
considering how many tries it took me to get to that point.
But it has a sick theme though. That final boss theme is so good.
The presentation of it is so good, but it's wasted on such a shit fight.
You can say about that about Sonic Lost World.
You can also say that
honestly.
about the Sonic Colors final boss fight. I never thought that was a good final boss fight because it didn't feel like, yeah, using all the colors together for a fight for what's basically a glorified QuickTime event, sure. And it using some of the color powers against you, I guess. But it doesn't
The
feel
DS
like a
version was
climactic
better.
final battle.
The DS version was better.
Yeah, that one, like, I haven't played the DS version, but from having seen it, like, that feels more like what the game was building up to, rather than, oh, it's just a new mech that Eggman built. That was not foreshadowed at any point.
Man, I saw so much fond memories of the DS version of Colors. It's like legitimately a really good game. It's also just the third boost, the third
Yeah,
rush
it's just
game.
the third Sonic Rush game without Blaze. Well, she's in the game, but only for a side quest.
And it's also canon? Question mark? Because
Apparently,
Mother
well,
Voice?
well, yeah, because under Ian Flynn's leadership, everything is canon.
But that was before Ian Flynn came on.
I know, but I'm saying now everything is canon. Even though it showed up in Team Sonic Racing, yes, but now everything is canon. Which technically means Sonic Chronicles is canon.
They will never make that game canon.
They will never
Actually, no,
officially
Sonic
make that
Chronicles-
game canon, but if everything is canon, that must mean Sonic Chronicles is canon.
Actually, you know, it's the first in the timeline, actually. You know, it's the last in the timeline, and Eggman wins.
There
That's
actually
how the
were
series
plans
ends.
for a sequel enough that they got the story tree done before they ended up not
But,
making the sequel.
you know, Ken Penders happened.
Yeah. It wasn't even the Ken Penders thing that made them not do it. It was EA buying out BioWare mid-development of the first Sonic Chronicles.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't it? I think you may have told me, but they were supposed to do a Sonic Saturday Young cartoon. I mean,
there was
video game?
there was a pitch demo for a Sonic Sat AM game, but it never got past that pitch demo. It was never in a playable state. It was more like a proof of concept animation made on an Amiga computer.
Oh my god.
You want it now, don't you?
Have a good night, Shadow Dragon.
Have a good night, Shadow Dragon.
And there's
Good night, Shadow
conflicting
Dragon.
information that suggests that the Sonic Sat AM inspired game was supposed to be the original Sonic 4, but that depends on who you ask.
Better than the actual Sonic 4.
The actual Sonic 4 wasn't even supposed to be Sonic 4. It was
was
supposed
a
to be a
mobile
mobile
game.
game. They just decided to call it Sonic 4 for better marketing
Which is funny,
value.
because you can actually still find the original name of the game in the game.
Yeah,
It's
where
like
it was
one
called
of the-
Sonic the Portable.
Wait, they're going to deport Sonic?
Sonic deported.
Sonic Deported.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. It went from regular Sonic to Adventure Sonic. Now back to regular Sonic.
Just wait until we get to Shadow Generations, where it's going to swap back and forth between Shadow and Terios.
I recalibrated everything. This was supposed to be my time.
I will say this.
Egghead, I beat you
I think Eggman had a better performance than the original.
beat him every time.
Yeah, Mike
It was
Pollock's...
much hammier.
Mike Pollock's not hamming it up nearly as much in the re-recorded lines.
That also is very noticeable that he's older.
Maybe we can call it
Yeah.
truce and
And there's no distinction between classic Robotnik and Eggman anymore for some reason.
Yeah. There barely was to begin with, but there's even less now.
this is getting serious.
If only the legend was still alive.
It's a case where I think it would have been a bit better if they got someone to do like a Dean Bristow impersonation for classic Eggman.
Jim Cummings, he voiced Eggman and was it Underground, I believe?
Sat AM.
Siam, okay.
Underground was Gary Chalk, and they couldn't get Long John Baldry because he passed away the same year as Dean Bristow.
Yeah, I mean, if they ever want to like bring back Eggman Nega, just like get Jim Cummings to do the voice. You know?
Yeah, instead of having
might
Mike
just get
Pollock
Mike
voice both of them. It
They might just
worked
get
for
Mike
when
Pollock.
it worked for the original canon idea where he was the alternate universe Eggman, but it doesn't work for the current canon where he's from the future timeline of Silver.
Isn't the explanation like he was from the future, but he went to another dimension or something like that?
I don't know. They overcomplicated it by making Blaze from Silver's future, which then made them have to adjust where Eggman Nega was from. And nowadays, they just try not to bring it up at all.
They just do not acknowledge. You didn't even fight Silver, huh?
Yeah, I forgot to fight him. Also,
And
like I said
Silver's-
earlier, this is the first game where, outside of Team Sonic Racing, where Bryce Papenbrook has gotten to voice Silver.
And I think he's not as good as Flynn. I thought
At
he
the
was
same time,
decent.
I will say, I think Bryce Papenbrook nails the more, like, dorky, naive side of Silver better. The problem is he's had no time to work on his Silver voice.
I do want to hear him improve. Because, like, you know, it's not fair, like, oh, let's just recast one, like, literally, Kirk Thornton's right there. And he's been playing Shadow and only gotten better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I feel like Bryce Papenbrook could be the definitive Silver if he's given more appearances to work on his Silver voice. The problem is Silver's been so sidelined post Sonic 06 that
I just don't think they know what to do with him.
They don't know what to do with him, and no actor is given time to work on their Silver voices. Like, yeah, Pete Capella wasn't very good in Sonic 06, but that was his first voice acting role ever. And the voice direction in that whole game was bad. So, like, it's not his fault. And in fan stuff that he's worked on since then, he's only gotten way better. Also, I call bullshit on Silver having all these, like, psychic projectile powers. Bullshit. He did not have those in Sonic 06. He had a badly programmed physics engine, and that was it.
He also just straight up teleports, I want to point that out. Like, he just straight up teleports in this.
He can outrun Sonic in this game. I call bullshit. He was slow as fuck in Sonic 06. That was the worst part of playing as
This
him.
is just like a rewriting history.
No use.
This will end it.
This will end it. I do kind of miss
no
Pete
use.
Capella Silver because he was so fun to do impressions of. Just like the reason I miss Jason Griffith's Sonic, other than him getting really good in Unleashed and Black Knight, was he was the most fun to do impressions of out of the game voice actors.
That and also because he unintentionally made Silver sound like a dork, which they just started leaning after.
He was supposed to be kind of a dork because he's supposed to be like unsure of himself and naive and like role playing as someone who's real tough, but he's actually really unsure of himself. But they just didn't do anything with that. That was an implied character trait instead of something they actually worked into the story.
Don't turn your back on me.
The voice director, like, Jason Griffith killed it as Shadow in that game, but also Shadow's not written like Shadow in that game.
I feel like his Sonic in that game was really bad.
Everyone except for Shadow and Mephiles sounded bad in that game. I don't know what was going on with the direction.
I mean, it also doesn't help that Sonic just kind of doesn't have a personality in Sonic 06.
Yeah, he's not written like Sonic. He's just written as a stock protagonist, which that can work as a Sonic portrayal, but you need to do something with him. And, you know, the fact that he barely factors into the story outside of the final story.
He also doesn't talk a lot in that game.
Like, I get he's supposed to be like the eternal optimist in that game. I get kind of what they were going for. But
man, just bullied him for no reason.
like the eternal optimist part of him amounts to telling Elise that the best way to deal with your problems is to run away from them.
away.
Which, Sonic, you can't outrun your sins forever. They will eventually catch up with you.
Mm-hmm.
You can't outrun child support forever. You can't outrun the IRS forever.
Child?
They will find you. They got Al Capone.
Whose child is the work question?
I mean, it was canon at one point in the Archie comics that he and Sally ended up having kids in the future.
Oh.
And then they got erased from history.
Yep. Literally, they got erased from history. That was another story arc.
Yeah.
It was a weird story arc because they decided that Shadow was a tyrannical dictator.
I don't think that got a resolution either, right?
It didn't.
Cause that was pre-reboot, right? That was pre-reboot.
That was pre-reboot,
right?
and the reboot happened before they could finish that story arc. The weirdest thing about the reboot is that it happened in the middle of a story arc. It happened, like, in the middle of the Mega Man crossover.
And we also, like, didn't get, like, a resolution what happened to who, like, that person, that bunny rabbit met.
Yeah, I think there's, like, you can probably see stuff from Ian Flynn where he talks about what the plans were, but we never saw it actually play out. He has a podcast where he talks about a lot of writing stuff that, you know, confirms and deconfirms.
I follow that podcast. I really like it.
The most disappointing thing to be confirmed on that podcast was him confirming that the end is not actually, like, you know, some eldritch monstrosity that embodies the end of all things like it claims it is. It's just a big monster. Like, its entire ending speech is just it. Yeah, he left a while ago. Like, he confirmed that the end is not the thing that claims to be in its ending monologue from the normal final boss fight. It's just trying to scare you into thinking that's more powerful than it actually is.
He's just like a little shitty, like little fuck.
But he also confirmed that its true form is not the moon. It's just, it appears as in a different form to everyone that sees it. So everyone in that scene sees it differently.
AKA, we didn't really have a design finish and we just picked the moon.
It's a cool idea. It's just, why would Sonic see it as the moon?
I don't know, maybe he's like scared of night.
I mean, the werewolf thing must have had an effect on him.
Maybe he's like scared of what Eggman did to the moon.
Yeah, I mean, if its true form was the moon, then Eggman could have just pissed on it again.
Yeah.
I mean, Sonic did pee on the moon at the end of the game.
It will be my pleasure. Excellent.
Can we talk about how weird it is that for the final boss fight of the main story, it just turns into Ikaruga?
Park, I stumbled upon a dark primordial essence.
But it was built up because the hacking minigame.
Yeah, the hacking minigame that was like 2 times in the whole game before that.
Yeah, but it was built up because the hacking minigame.
I'll give them credit. They didn't introduce a new mechanic for the final boss fight and expect you to be a master of it.
Honestly, more Sonic games should just randomly end with Ikaruga. It's like how what you call it, Superstars had that one like Fantasy Star game as a reference. Was it Fantasy Star?
I've never played Fantasy Star, so I wouldn't know.
It was like a shooter game that they referenced at the end of Superstars.
Fantasy Star's an RPG, so
yeah.
No, it's Fantasy Zone.
Fantasy Zone, okay. Sorry.
No, Fantasy Zone is what the name of the game is. God, what's it called? Space Harrier. Space Harrier is the name of the game.
It was that why they referenced that.
Hell, the first phase of the final boss fight in Devil May Cry is just Space Harrier, and it's entirely because Hideki Kamiya liked Space Harrier. Like, not because it would make for a good boss fight, but because he really liked Space Harrier. And then he would go on to insert a Space Harrier segment into almost every game he would direct after that. And you can tell that he didn't direct Bayonetta 2 because it doesn't have a Space Harrier segment.
Reference.
It's not Space Harrier, it's Afterburner. Or if you're playing with the Star Fox costume, it's Star Fox 64.
And that's how Star Fox Zero was made.
That was
For
just
better
to
or for
soften
worse.
you up. Now it's time to meet your doom.
And that's how we killed the Star Fox series. Now we're going to Star Fox game.
The Star Fox game that was on the GameCube technically underrated.
Adventures or Assault?
I think it's Adventures.
0 out of 10. He doesn't say you got this, Sonic.
They are insignificant.
Oh, so
I feel like
when
on
Knuckles
your
said you're
feed
tougher
is
than
more
that-
something that Shadow would say.
But you got this, Sonic was funny.
You've got this, Sonic.
Also,
I can't see that part of the scene the same way ever since I saw an old edit of it where it plays all that, then when it gets to Silver it just says, "It's no use!" and then everything explodes.
I saw that edit and it legit got me PTSD because Knuckles said you're tougher than this, and I thought he was going to say you're tougher than the rest of them. Like, I legit thought he was going to say that.
Can we talk about how Knuckles' theme song in Sonic Adventure 1 is a load of bullshit? Because he says, unlike Sonic, I don't chuckle, but if you play his debut game, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, he chuckles all the time.
Chuckling.
So I just realized something about the 7 Chaos Emeralds. When they transform, you actually see a little hedgehog effects for each emerald.
Wait, what?
Can we talk about
have,
how...
Sonic's logo?
Like, it's completely unfitting that the, like, Let's Go Kick His Ass theme is the theme to Sonic the Hedgehog 4 with its shitty-ass fake Genesis synth.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that was the Sonic 4 theme that just played. Also, they kept in the home and shot line.
Yeah, they kept it, but they rewrote it, so it's not the same line every time.
Honestly, they should have just kept it just for the meme.
You could have just written different tips instead of the same tip every time. But I'm kind of glad they kept it because it's more authentic that way.
Here's a little tip for this. Go back to 3D and just stay there. It doesn't matter.
Oh, I've never seen them say that before. Also, I think the controls in this boss fight might be broken, because sometimes you just get stuck.
I never heard Amy scream like that. It's probably because we're recording, but yet still.
Sonic. Be careful, Sonic.
It's a homing shot that almost never hits you. It's really shitty at homing.
It looks like a homing shot. No, for the longest time, I thought they were referring to the homing attack, and that was your opportunity hit. But no, they're just talking about the.
You have a homing attack in this boss fight, but there's no reason to use it.
Really?
Because I don't think it even does anything.
Isn't like you just like shoot classic Sonic or something like that?
You shoot classic Sonic at him, but I don't think it does anything. Like as far as
which is why the 2D
as far as like damaging
pointless.
the boss goes.
That's why nobody goes in 2D because it's pointless to go in 2D. Because he would just go back to 3D anyways.
No. And also he didn't he just said the button.
Yeah,
press
again,
the button.
Specific.
I mean, I know there's a flashing triangle button on screen, but you know, you gotta
Also,
design for the game journalists.
They also like stop time and doesn't do anything.
I've never seen him use that attack.
Yeah, I've never seen that attack before. And do anything.
But you gotta make your game as simplified as possible and as specific as possible, so the IGNs out there don't get confused by how Sonic plays again.
Yeah, press the button.
I'm never gonna let them live down their Sonic Unleashed review where they gave it a 2 out of 10 because they sucked at the game.
When they jump over the ledge.
I was gonna say
all the quick time events in Apocalypse.
Where they don't press the buttons during the QuickTime events and say that the QuickTime events suck, and they jump over.
I also want to point out it was the first level.
Yeah, it was the first level. and they jump over one of the dash pads and fall to their death, and they act like it's the game's fault.
Which is funny because they gave this game a 9 out of 10.
I'm just gonna keep saying Cuphead.
That wasn't
IGN.
That's a very common misconception.
I don't care. It was IGN Light.
It was Venture Beat, and you'll be happy to hear that the guy who did the infamous Cuphead preview video is now an NFT shill.
Oh, that explains it all. He was stupid.
Yes. So it's perfectly fine to laugh at him because he's stupid.
I mean, even then, I still would laugh at
Carlton.
him. I still would be laughing at him regardless.
I was gonna say, can you make me a sandwich? But there's no sandwiches in this game, just chili dogs.
I will say this: I missed the line where he talks about collecting rings. I like that more.
So
that wasn't even in the original Japanese script. Apparently, it was a localization thing.
I'll admit, you weren't half bad, Sonic.
So is a hot dog a
They
sandwich?
also reanimated Knuckles here so he doesn't fly back into the tree.
I like the face he makes because he looks so sad that Amy hit him.
Think about it too hard.
But at the same time, it doesn't show how ridiculously strong Amy is.
Yeah, a lot of people are actually upset because they changed that.
My question is, why are the Chow at this party? I mean, I like Chow being present, but it seems weird to specifically invite random Chow.
I forgot about this line read. He has to say it so fast because they didn't change the animation, but they kept in that they had to keep it pace with this time of the original game.
There's our portal home.
Like, I don't even think it's sped up. I think Roger Chris Smith just sent that really fast.
Yes, he did. You can tell when it's sped up, and it's not. It sounds fake when it's sped up.
Yeah, it's not like Kingdom Hearts when sometimes they speed up the lines because it's not in the pace of the Japanese version.
Also, there's one thing in the post-credits cutscene that they didn't change, and I kind of wish they did. And it's where both of the Eggmans are clearly supposed to be shouting at each other.
But silent.
But they're silent, and they're just stamping their feet at each other, and it's just really awkward.
I heard the Japanese one, you actually hear them...
no, it's like that in every version.
Wait, what?
But I like the fact that they just didn't, that anyone just did not bother changing that line because it was already
They
perfect.
don't even have to say anything specific, just do Walla for it.
Although, I gotta say, I think the performance... Actually, I feel like in some areas of that last scene, the performance is better than some areas. Like, since Eggman's not as hammy, it's not as good.
The whole "there is no time here" delivery works better in the original.
Yeah.
Because he sounds genuinely pissed off. And no, we're not watching the whole credits.
I was gonna say, are we gonna skip the credits?
Let's see. Like I said, they don't say who played who.
They didn't change.
I don't think they even changed the end credits because it still says Troy Baker.
Wow, that's...
Oh.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Unless they did get Troy Baker back.
No, it's definitely Matt Mercer. You can tell.
And they took out the Happy Birthday Sonic.
Oh, that just sucks. I like the Happy Birthday Sonic at the end.
Are you sure you saw it?
After this, I'm going to head out because...
After this, I'm ending the stream anyway. I want to save Shadow Generations for another stream.
Well, I know it was one of us. Shut up and keep looking.
Just put some angry shouting there that's indistinct.
And then they start making out.
What time is it? It's the exact same
Eggman would do that.
And it'll be the exact same time.
Because the person he's most attracted to is himself.
Let me just say that this was a...
With me going...
No, I'm talking about making out with himself.
Oh.
Pretty soon. I'm gonna dedicate the rest of my life to forgetting it. depends on your definition of win.
I do this.
Beating Sonic. Oh, well then no. That doesn't give me...
They never explained how Eggman got out of here, by the way.
Degree. That's not a bad idea. I've always enjoyed telling people what to do.
And I prefer that they didn't explain it.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, he had to have space continuum sex with his past self. And that's how they did. That's how he got back.
He created a time paradox to get out of the timeless zone.
Basically, he said, I'm not going to do this plan. And that's the paradox, I'm pretty sure.
He fucked himself back into existence. There we go. Literally.
Oh my.
Oh, did they keep the original trailer, or do they use the new version?
He came into existence.
Yes. I gotta see if they kept the original trailer or if they used the new version.
Is Sonic gonna kiss Shadow?
Okay, it is the original trailer.
Aw, I was really hoping that Sonic Shadow will come in.
I mean, I did title this stream, wait, this isn't a Sonic X Shadow dating sim or something like that.
Is it Sonic X Shadow or is it Sonic Cross Shadow?
They pronounce it Sonic X Shadow in all the official stuff.
Okay. Because I feel like Sonic Cross Shadow makes more sense, but Sonic X Shadow sounds funnier.
It's funnier that that's the official pronunciation. Like, they had to know what they were implying with that.
I think they do. I think they did know.
They did. They knew.
Like, we know they're in touch with the memes.
Okay, if they were in touch with the memes, Shadow would kiss Sonic in this game. With tongue.
Like, one of the earliest Twitter takeovers, they asked Sonic and Shadow about what they think of SonAdow, and Shadow's answer was, I have one word for that. No.
Shadow confirmed homophobic. No, because
he's not homophobic. He'll marry anyone regardless of gender identity, as long as they meet his standards.
I like the fact that it is in canon that Shadow's pansexual.
He is the ultimate pansexual.
He's the ultimate bottom.
He's not just the ultimate life form. He's the ultimate pansexual icon.
Okay, I really need to sleep. It's 11:30.
All right. Have a good night, Coffee Pot, and thank you for joining us. I hope to see more of you on here.
Yeah, I think I can join next stream. Hopefully, when's next stream? Actually,
Thursday.
Thursday?
No, wait, not Thursday. Friday. I always have Thursdays off.
Probably not then.
Oh well.
So it'll probably have to be the stream after that.
Okay, that'll be Saturday.
Oh, well, okay, then probably whoever stream after that then.
And I'm streaming Sunday, too.
Okay, so Monday. If you have a Monday stream, I'll be there.
I usually have Monday streams.
Okay, then I'll see you in next week then.
Okay. Have a good night.
See ya.
Try not to nut to Shadow too hard. Aw, he left. Before I can get my final joke in. So that was fun. That was fun and oddly wholesome.
And even though you had
3 people involved.
Yeah.
All right,
Probably
let's
the
see.
most cursed people.
Let's see if we're going to be rating anyone tonight.
If you don't got anyone in mind, let me.
You gotta redeem it.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So I'm going down. I gotta find it. You always gotta find stuff. I always have a hard time finding shit. There we go. I gotta get their URL name and all that.
Well, I mean, you don't need the URL, you just need the username.
I know. I need to get that. That's what I meant.
Okay.
There we go. They're also from the Elden Wood group.
Oh, perfect. There we go. There we go. Source Speed Talks, playing Little Nightmares with crowd control. All right, give Source Speed a warm welcome, everybody. Thank you to everyone who joined tonight. Thank you to my co-commentators for co-commentating tonight. Thank you to Dashcat for joining us for the first time tonight. I'll see you guys on Friday, and until then, unpleasant dreams.
Well, we're the more the chorus. We hope you enjoy our show, and then you've written for us, but now we have to go.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.